Hey, what's going on, Twisters? Tonight, the San Jose Sharks look to get back in the win column as they take on the New York Rangers for the first time since sometime in October. It's been forever since we last saw the Blue Shirts, but that was when we got our first victory of the season. So hopefully the luck continues for San Jose in that respect. As for the Rangers, they're looking to bounce back after really what's been a tough West Coast road trip for them. We'll be hanging out here all evening long, and whether you're a Sharks fan or not a Sharks fan, you're more than welcome to hang out here with us because we are fans of the NHL at large. So anyway, happy Friday to you. Happy weekend. We've already got Hockey from Home joining us here in the chat. Hey, good evening to you, and thank you for hopping in. Knights and Leafs, that must have been a little bit conflicting for you. Happy belated birthday to Cortana. Thank you. I'll let you know. I'll let her know that she said that. We got Kurt hanging out here with us as well. And we're going to have somebody else actually joining us at intermission. So at first intermission, we'll have Mason from It's About Hockey. So he's a hockey creator here on YouTube, and he's also a Sharks fan. So it's my first time talking with Mason. I'm really looking forward to that, especially because he's actually in my area. We're not even in California, but it's cool to meet somebody else in that sphere local to me. And at second intermission, we'll also be ranking San Jose Sharks jerseys. So we've got some intermission entertainment for all of you. Dean, what's going on? Now, did you guys hold on? Was it 4-3 at the end of things, or I didn't see what the final score was there? Yeah, we got Kurt. We got Eric here, Tenchi. What's going on? Thanks for joining us. It's been a while since you joined. Well, hey, this is a great time, right? We're starting to see some teams separate themselves in the playoff conversation, but one of those teams could be my Sharks. Hopefully so. 6-3 Knights. Okay, I would think that was probably at least one or two empty netters. Hey, let me see if I can get Cortana over here. Hey, Cortana, you want a treat? She's not in the room with me right now, but maybe she'll come over if I give her a call. I just heard her groan and get up. But yeah, she's hanging out here with me. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, can you go lie down, girl? So Cortana actually had a birthday on Sunday. She turned 12 years young. She's still doing awesome. She's getting exercise twice a day at least. Not just walks. She plays lots of fetch, and she gets lots of treats. Girl. Okay, you can come over here too. That's cool. All right, here we go. There you go, girl. Here, have another one. Good girl. Yeah. So hopefully she'll be hanging out with us for every goal, whether that's Rangers or Sharks. But hopefully plenty of Sharks goals because they were starved in the last game, falling to Tampa Bay 3-1. What shirt is she wearing? She's just wearing a shirt that I got at the store. There's no theme to it or anything like that. Bond, the people are wishing you a happy birthday, Cortana. Anyway. I will tell her that you said happy birthday. Hockey from Home says happy birthday. Okay. Well, anyway, she's just hanging out with Mrs. Twister in the other room there. But we've got last goals were by Stone. Stone's points per game this year have been like, I don't want to say record setting, but franchise setting for the Knights, I would think. Lightning just keep rolling. Yeah, they've won, 14 out of 15. They just beat the Hawks in the shootout with the rookie Dominic James game-winning goal. Yeah, I hadn't even heard of the guy until most recently when our teams matched up against each other. And thank God we didn't get smoked 7-3. I think the Lightning just said, okay, we're up by multiple goals. We trust our game. We're just going to sit back and just not take the night off, but we're just going to make sure that we don't embarrass them too much. Just hockey. Okay, I just don't want to get that confused with anybody else who might appear here. Okay, so Sharks lineup-wise looks pretty similar to what we've been seeing. The exception, though, is that Igor Chernyshov has been sent back down to the AHL, which definitely drew some criticism from the fan base, albeit I kind of understand in that just with how the Sharks have their contracts arranged right now, you can't necessarily keep him up there, especially if you want to bring in Kiefer Sherwood like they did earlier this week. He's not in the lineup tonight, but we could see him possibly by the end of this month. I hope so, at least. But Chernyshov really like his game altogether. I can't imagine him not staying up with the club as we get into the home stretch of the season. It's just that the Sharks might have to move off of somebody. Jeff Skinner, maybe. Gaudette would kind of be in that mix. Ty Dellandrea, I would think as well. So we'll definitely be looking out to see if the Sharks actually clear up a spot for Igor Chernyshov, because personally, I would really like to see that. I think he's played well enough for that. All right. Jake, what's going on, man? Good evening to you. Thank you for jumping in here in what is our NFL offseason. Thank the heavens, Brian Flores is still with the Minnesota Vikings unless he gets hired on by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two of your buddies are at the Canucks and Devils game tonight. Boy, that's kind of disappointing for both of those fan bases. But if you haven't been to a game so far this year, I would totally I wouldn't say no to that either. Last time you joined was Celebrini's Day. Was it really that long ago? Huh. He actually had a hat trick in this last meeting against the Rangers. And somebody else for the Rangers had a hat trick that game, and that was Taylor Radish. His brother Darren also has a hat trick this year against the Sharks. He's breaking out this year for the Tampa Bay Lightning offensively. He's put up a lot of points. You love the Sherwood acquisition. I hear nothing but great things about him. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the Sharks did, they gave up a decent amount in return. 2 second rounders is nothing to scoff at, considering this is not even at the trade deadline. So the asking prices aren't necessarily going to be as high. But hey, I'm optimistic that Sherwood could be a good fit there. And hopefully it's, of course, you hope that it would be more than just a rental. So they're doing just anthems right now. You guys can let me know in the chat what you think the score is going to be tonight. I'm gonna say we put up a couple of goals. I think it's going to be tough though. We're going up against Igor Shesterkin, who has been the bright spot for the New York Rangers this year in the season that's been pretty disappointing for them, piggybacking off of last year, unfortunately. What's going on? We've got Blitzcat hanging out with us here. Hi to Cortana. Yeah, Cortana is coming in and out here. She's like, yeah, when you tell me that I have a treat, I'll come over, I guess. We got Rangers Central. I was wondering if you'd tune in here, Evan. There you go. Good girl. Hope you're doing well, man. I know it's been a tough year for the Blue Shirts. But hey, who knows? Maybe we can work out a deal for Braden Schneider. All right. Hockey from home. You have yourself a pleasant weekend, and we'll see you around here soon enough. Because, yeah, I mean, I guess some of you are tuning in at 10 in the evening. Spencer Martin's in goal. It's not Igor. Oh, shoot. Oh, has he been hurt? Wow. I've been really out of the loop. Well, that could mean good things for the Sharks, although they couldn't get it done when they faced essentially a third-string goaltender a couple weeks ago. But all right, well, then on that front, I'll say the Sharks get a 4-2 victory here. I'm hoping so. We're doing pretty good on these streams, right? The Sharks, I think, are undefeated this year when I live stream in like 2 games. But yeah, please take Schneider off our hands. Yeah, I don't think the Rangers have been all that happy with his development. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, you guys have Scott Morrow now. I almost forgot about that because that was somebody who didn't look like he was much of a fit in Carolina, albeit he's certainly younger than Schneider. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to say no to a potential, midterm fit for somebody who's a young right-handed defenseman. So when we come back from the commercial break here, we will get the opening puck drop. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun. And again, first intermission, we're going to have a guest. It'll be Mason, who's a Sharks fan from It's About Hockey. That's his channel. And second intermission, we'll rank some Sharks jerseys. Half of our lineup will shock you. It's not that good at all. Yeah, there are a couple of guys I've never even heard of before. And guys who are breaking in this season, like Gabe Perreault and Brendan Othman. And then, like, I don't know who Noah Laba is. I don't know who Matt Robertson is on defense. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Are the Sharks going to hold serve at home, or are the Rangers going to play the spoiler? The good thing for the Sharks is that for the most part, when they face a team that's, roughly to their caliber or inferior, they have performed pretty well this year. And I think this is something really interesting to monitor for the Sharks going into the last, third of the season. They have a very favorable schedule. It's crazy because I think like out of the last, 32 games or whatever it is for them, almost half of them are against only like 4 teams. They've got, 3 games against the Blackhawks, 3 games against the Predators, 3 games against the Blues. These are teams that aren't in playoff spots. They've got 4 against the Oilers. That's interesting, especially because, at least as things stand right now, third place is up for grabs in the Pacific Division. And so the Sharks, if they are somehow able to get in the playoffs and secure third, they would actually play Edmonton in the first round, most likely. Laba is a solid 3C, one of the few bright spots. Robertson was a second-round pick in 2019, and you can see why he's a 7D at best. I mean, that's probably like the average projection. Like a bottom pairing defenseman is kind of the average projection of somebody who goes in the second round. Trevor, what's going on, man? Kane's on a 10-game point streak, albeit last night was a bit of a disappointing finish. Spencer Knight was lights out for Chicago. Not to mention, it was such a cool, crazy story last night with Oliver Moore on his 21st birthday fights Alexander Nikishin, who is number 21 on Carolina, and he gets just a terrible shiner below his eye, and then he scores the winning goal in the shootout, which is pretty crazy. I've heard Panarin rumors of him going to San Jose. What do I think of that? Panarin's not really a playoff performer, which kind of concerns me. It's an attractive piece, but I can't imagine that would be anything more than a rental. So I'm not super high on bringing Panarin in. Could it get us into the playoffs? I mean, it would be hard for that not to happen at this point, but I just don't know if that's going to necessarily be the piece that wins us a playoff round or two. Some people think the Lightning could trade for Mika Zibanejad. What would the Lightning give up in exchange? Man, I don't know what their draft capital looks like. It's not that bad though. I don't think. I mean, Brisebois has gotten creative. I will credit him for that. Panarin always has poop running down his leg when the lights are bright. Yeah, I mean, he's not the only one, but that's one that really does jump out at you in those moments, those key moments. All right, so we're about to drop the puck, by the way. I mean, do the Lightning have the pieces to get somebody like Mika? I would think so, but... And I mean, they could use another right-handed goal scorer if I don't know. Point's not playing right now, right? So that's not particularly good for them. They don't have any first-round picks for the next 3 seasons. Jeez. I didn't think it was that deep, or that depleted, I should say. But yeah, we're underway here for the Sharks. Looks like it's the second line out there for them. So that's the Alex Wenberg line. And Braden Schneider, we mentioned him a moment ago. He gets knocked down as the Rangers turn it over in the Shark zone to Foley. Oh, he gets hooked or something happens there. Riley, good evening. Good evening to you. And fresh off a Golden Knights victory for you. And it's a penalty already to the Rangers. Yeah. Blackhawks will win the cup. At some point, probably. Before I die, I would think they probably will get maybe one. I mean, the Lightning don't... The good thing is the Lightning, they don't need the offense so much. But wait a second. Their power play's kind of struggled this year, hasn't it? There are a couple of good teams whose power play is just garbage this year. I think that Colorado has been one of them too. Yeah. All right. So we get a Sharks power play, but it looks like the Rangers are going to clear this. And Cortana's already upset because she's not getting any treats. Cortana, you need a goal or a super chat. I just gave you one like a couple minutes ago. Oh, for F's sake, you're not getting any younger. Oh, a chance in front and a save by Martin. He's gonna kind of close his legs again to make sure he covered up. Here, lie down. Lie down. As you guys get a close up of my beard. Oh, and there goes Cortana. week to week for Braden Point. Yeah, I guess the only impact that really has for the Lightning is that, I mean, they're going for the top spot in the division. They're holding down the top spot in the conference. I mean, they have had their ailments. I know that McDonough was out, and they're still winning games, man. It's pretty remarkable. All right, here's Celebrini at the top of the circle. Klingberg shoots, rebound. Will Smith on the rebound, and it rims around. Rangers trying to clear, and somebody fanned on it there. Smith down low. He's got Toffoli. Back to the circle. Toffoli looking in front. They score. It goes off Macklin's skate. The question is that going to be is that going to stand as a goal, or could that possibly get overturned? We're going to play the horn anyway.
Celebrating in! Scores! What a goal!
Well, Cortana was going to get another treat, but she left the room. Let me just take a look at this again. Yeah, it was redirected by a skate, but that's not a distinct kicking motion. So that goal should stand. And the Sharks power play, it's been doing, I want to say it's been doing okay recently. Certainly an improvement over last year. It's coming in at 18th. Rangers penalty kill is at 14th. So it's not anywhere near their greatest weakness. That has to do with their 5-on-5 play. One leg of your parlay already hit. Oh my gosh. Stamkos has been on fire lately. I know he's like up to what, like 24, 25 goals. Pretty cool seeing Jonathan Taves return to Chicago. Yeah, I heard that he was basically given about a 5-minute standing ovation, which is that speaks volumes, man. I just don't think that we appreciate him just enough. For what he's done over what's been a very long career for him. And of course, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's nothing that would get in the way of that, I don't think. So now the Eklund was saying that this should be a delay of game to the Rangers, and this could be, actually. Yeah, Matthew Robertson's going in the box, and the Sharks are going back on the power play with a chance to really, I don't want to say put the Rangers away, but this would be another big goal here. Let's see. All right. Sharks trying to keep this clear. Macklin able to send this around the net. Schneider's the first one there. And a Rangers clear. A lot happening in the Rangers' end the first 2 minutes of this game, and Celebrini will hand it off at the top of the zone for Wenberg. Back down to Macklin. He's looking. He skates around. Selly's still holding on to the puck. Playing a little catch with Wenberg. Now up to the point. Oh, a shot pass looking for Wenberg. That went a little bit wide of his stick. Rebound. Smith feeds it back to the point where Klingberg is. A shot. Kick save. Another save. Smith chasing after it, and the Rangers able to get the clear here. But the Sharks applying a lot of pressure, and now they can finally change up their power play units, although 71 is still out there. Turned from booing Marner to just booing the Leafs. Probably so. Were there any jerseys on the ice, though? That'll confirm it. Did anybody throw a Marner jersey on the ice? I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Wonder how much tickets were for that game. All right, Eklund handing it off. One-timer looking for Regenda. Hopped over a stick. Good aggressive play there from Misa. Looking to find the point there, but Trocheck's going to come the other way. And he takes a hard check from Orlov, the Sharks' leading scorer among defensemen, with a single goal, but a total of 23 points. Sharks battling in the corner. Out front for Regenda. He shoots. He scores! That's 2-0 and 2 power play goals for the Sharks. And they've got the Rangers in quite a hole already. Unreal. All right, Cortana, treat. Jake, what's up, man? Here, Cortana, get a treat. Good girl. Yeah, Regenda, man. I mean, I don't like Chernyshov being sent down, but Regenda, he's doing a great job. I like how this dude uses his body out there. And Sharks just applying all kinds of pressure, man. That's great. All right. So 2 goals on 7 shots, both goals on the power play. And David Quinn, welcome back to San Jose. I forgot that he was the assistant there in New York. Actually, he was the head coach there for a couple of years as well, during a couple of lean years for the Blue Shirts. It sucks Chernyshov is gone, but Regenda ain't a bottom. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was saying earlier, I would not be surprised if the Sharks eventually moved on maybe from one of the forwards. They just have some guys who I think are, there's some overlap there, right? Somebody like, I don't know, Delandria or Skinner. Skinner probably would be the first one out. I would like to see Chernyshov stay there. Big save, by the way, off of, big save by Nedeljkovic, I should say. Excuse me. As he denied, I don't know if that was Panarin, but that was a hell of a play. Rangers trying to punch back, though. As they got the cycle game going strong here. They have it around the Sharks net. And now Will Cooley, who I thought was going to pop off for some more this year, really. Another chance that is shoveled just wide of the net. Now Desharnais, he's going to dump this down. No icing. Sharks can change up, but a good response there from the Rangers after giving up a couple on the man advantage. And a puck that ramped off of Reeves and almost went in. Sharks attacking again. Celebrini shoots, blockered away by Spencer Martin, former Hurricane and Penguin, right? And Canuck? Or am I just blowing smoke? Now Liljegren. The Sharks are actually going to get called here for an interference, so the Rangers will go on the power play. So a lot of special teams to get things started. Rangers coming in with the 10th ranked power play. That is a strength of theirs. Sharks penalty kill, though, has struggled quite a bit. It is now tied for just 25th. God, Celebrini wants a hat trick already. All right. We got Black Panther hanging out. How good do I think Kasper Halttunen will be for the Sharks? Honestly, I don't really watch the Barracuda, so I can't say. I'm not surprised that he hasn't gotten a crack this year, though, just given how much youth is on this team and how quick of an impact we've seen from somebody like Regenda or Chernyshov. But I'm optimistic that, of course, somebody like him could be a weapon on, let's say, maybe a power play with Sam Dickinson when you consider the two of them play together. So anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing more about him and Quentin Musty as well. Not to mention, I mean, shoot, Philip Beestead just made the AHL All-Star team. So it's like you sometimes some of the talents on the Barracuda or in the Sharks prospect pool, that might slip your mind a little bit just because they have a lot of guys who are that age or maybe just a little bit older and who are contributing. Sharks able to get the clear. And Raj, what's going on, man? Hey, my Sharks, they're trying to get third in that in our division so they could play the Oilers in the first round. So prepare yourself. Oh, shorthanded. Oh, Stopchuk nearly scored. Feel like he was a steal. And hell, you could be right. Oh, and Rangers nearly squeaking one by Nedeljkovic, but at least we dodged a bullet there. Panarin and Liljegren trying to send this clear, goes around and out of the zone. That's good. All right. So about 40 seconds left here in the I didn't even see who committed the penalty. My bad. But the Sharks, of course, are the team in the box. They're the team in the box. It'd be a fun series, but the Oilers would win. I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing is that our teams even haven't even played each other. Although they're going to, I think, meet up on the 29th. But yeah, they've got 4 matchups against each other to go here. You've been a Sharks fan since you were a kid. Love Mr. San Jose, Patrick Marleau. You got a Sharks plushie for your birthday. Right on. I've got my guy here. Actually, Sharky gave me this. It was my 11th birthday. I'm surprised that we still have this around, but there he is in all his Shark glory. Yeah, it's an actual puppet too. Love the Sharks throwback jerseys this season. Right on. And we will be ranking Sharks jerseys at second intermission. I know it's probably going to be pretty late for you, but if you're still around, I'd love to have you around for it. Hall of Fame Sharky. Yeah, that's right. The 3rd NHL mascot to go into the Hockey Hall of Fame after, I think it was Tommy Hawk that was first, and then Yuppie, or Yuppie and then Tommy Hawk. So that's some real company there. Klingberg, just shoot the puck there. You don't need to pass it. He was looking for Macklin. This could be a 2-on-1 for the Rangers, but a nice back check. Whoever it was back there was celebrating. I think it was Orlov. And now Orlov going into the corner against Zibanejad. He gives him a ride. Rangers cycling it around the Sharks net. Miller around the net here for Taylor Radish, who again had that hat trick against the Sharks back in October. Still live in the zone. Oh, pad save Nedeljkovic around the screen. Nice job there. Let's get Mrs. Kitty. Oh, here's Colin Graff out there. Dumps it off for Smith. Celebrini, one-timer. He scores. Just an absolute clinic, and Macklin's got 2 tonight. Macklin's on Hattie watch, everybody. Unreal. Cortana treat. Here we go. What's crack-a-lackin'? What's going on? Here we go. There we go. That's my goat. Incredible, huh? All right, let's crack-a-lackin'. $2 super chat. Let's give Cortana an extra treat from you. Thank you so much. Here's a super chat, super treat. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't even play the goal horn. Here, let me play the goal horn. I'm sorry, guys. Wait.
Celebrating in. Scores! What a goal!
All right, awesome. I appreciate the super chat there. Yeah, Sharks have 3 goals on their first 10 shots. I mean, shoot, they've got 10 shots. It's only been 8 minutes in the period. I want a Golden Knights versus Sharks rematch. I don't, but I also kind of do. We're not going anywhere in the playoffs, so I just like the idea of the Sharks making their opponent's life absolutely miserable. Liljegren was a nice ad from the blue line. He's like, he's kind of up and down, but I think he's pretty much performed about at the level I would have expected. I know it's kind of a fluffy thing for me to say, but I've never been impressed by his defense. But there are definitely games where he's standing out better than what my eye is showing me. Emperor King, what's going on? Deputy Donut, good evening to you. Thank you for joining. Emperor King, we're jockeying for a playoff spot here, man. Are we going to get... I mean, best case scenario, we could still get all 3 California teams in the playoffs. Who should we get in this year's draft? I mean, although the Sherwood trade could be a good one for the Sharks, I was thinking that what San Jose should do is stockpile their picks and try to trade up in the draft and dangle one of our prospects. We got plenty of prospects because Keaton Verhoff sounds like a San Jose Shark. Big right-handed defenseman. We need that on this team. We have Sam Dickinson as kind of our future first pairing left-handed shot, but we do need a right-handed shot. And so I think Verhoff would have been the guy. I thought we were going to be bad enough to where we could select him too. Matt, what's going on? Matt is an honorary Sharks fan for the evening. His favorite team is the Islanders. She's getting mad at the. Oh, that's right. She's a Rangers fan. Well, sorry, Matt's mom. Welcome to the Macklin Celebrini show, though. I'm in misery this season. The Canucks have been miserable. Totally, man. I can't remember the last time the Sharks lost that many consecutive games, even though we've been last in the NHL the last couple of years. But somebody else who's a Canucks fan in our Discord was saying, like, hey, this has been just not my year. This has been pretty awful when you know that your team has finally hit the end of the runway and is due for a nosedive. And so he said, all right, well, could I like hang out with you Sharks fans this season? And the answer is a resounding yes. 2011, the conference finals are very, very far behind us. You may join us, and don't forget, I mean, we're in the same camp as you. We've been to the big show before, but we never got ours, and you guys never got yours. So we feel for you. I wait for the rebuild. Hey, I mean, it can be pretty miserable. Like when your team actually hasn't leaned into that rebuild just yet, it can be pretty awful. But you know what? I started creating content on YouTube here when the Sharks were at the end of their era, sort of, 2018, 2019, my first couple of years, and Sharks iced the puck here. And I just leaned into it. I said, you know what? This is going to be awful. I'm not used to this. Here we are. We've made the playoffs like 13 of the last 14 years or something like that. I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm a huge fan of this team. I bleed teal. And now I'm here and I'm feeling definitely a lot better. We've got Deadly Flames in the building. Hey, thanks for joining. Shout out to Shorzy, Jared Kiso, who is a huge Flames fan, I didn't know, and is playing a game against some Flames alumni in the Saddle Dome tonight. Remember 2013? Time to let 2011 go. Yeah, I know. That was such a quick one, though. Sometimes I don't remember it, but hey, we got our revenge. We're good, I wish the Kings were good at home. Yeah, that's very disappointing when you can't just be like respectable at home. What is their home record, by the way? The LA Kings. The LA Kings home record is 8-10-7. You have won 8 of 17 games, or excuse me, 8 of 25 games at home. Inexcusable, man. One of the recent Lightning prospects, Benjamin Rihaitunen, I can't spell his last name, who we got late in the draft, has been really good in Europe. I mean, you'll have to see how the game translates at the North American level, but that's certainly possible. Ooh. Nedeljkovic, a big pad save. So the Rangers are generating some chances. And I mean, with both of these teams, with the Rangers, I mean, you got to like what you see from a 5-on-5 standpoint, because, I mean, not like, but in what's been a very difficult season for them, at least they're, again, generating some chances, because 5-on-5, they've been one of the worst teams this year. And they currently sit last place in their division. Mixed feeling for the Rasmus Andersson trade. I think that could be a really good trade for them. I mean, the guy was not going to re-sign. Oh, Will Smith one-timer. What a backdoor pass there from Celebrini. Almost scored. Good save, though, from Martin. And now break the other way. Is that Trocheck coming in? And Nedeljkovic denies him. But yeah, I think that could be a really good pick for Calgary. They get a first no matter what, which would probably be the minimum. And then you have a conditional first. If the Knights win the Stanley Cup, you get another pick, another first rounder for them. And I know it would be at the end of the round. I still think that's pretty good if you can have that asset to draft, in back-to-back years. Trevor, with Bussy, ride the bus with us, doing so well in the regular. Oh, here we got Cortana on camera now. There she is. Everybody smash that like for Cortana. We're in a commercial break. With Bussy doing so well in the regular season for the Canes, do I think he will keep it up in the playoffs? I'm praying he can be, but the talk of the town, or he's been the talk of the town. I mean, I think really if the Canes take this seriously, they get a goaltender from another team. They can still roll with Bussy. They could maybe even start him. I'll just say bottom line, they can't start Freddie Anderson. I just don't think they're ever going to get over the hump with him in goal. And I've loved what Freddie's done over his career. I think he's been kind of underrated with what he did at the peak of his career. And he had some very good years for the Hurricanes too. But I don't think that I would be incredibly confident with Bussy in goal for the playoffs, but that he's clearly their better option right now. And it sucks Kochetkov can't, even push for one of the two spots. Macklin is a generational talent. I'm going to have to see what happens. I mean, this is just the second year, but he's coming along like one for sure. I didn't even know that he would be this good ever in his career, honestly. The Milanayak. I don't know. I almost wanted to say Milan Mahalik. The former Flames players winning the cup for other teams. Well, it depends on how you do things, but you could possibly even cheer for him, right? Do the Knights have? Oh yeah, they have Hannafin as well. But then again, you're like, yeah, but those were two guys who were on a couple of our good teams in 2022, and I don't know about 2019 if those guys would have been on the team, but yeah, sometimes I root for players when they get traded from my team, and other times I'm like, hey, if they win, I'll be happy for them, but I'm not going to root for that team so much. LA Kings are on the older side compared to the Sharks or the Ducks. Well, you have it's interesting because it seems like with the other California teams, you have, you're either really young or your players are pretty late in their career. You don't have as much in between, 26 to 32. It's like you have guys who are on the other sides of it. I don't know. But yeah, the Ducks, I mean, their table setters are mostly really young guys. And San Jose, there's a little bit more of a mix. As Toffoli, who is definitely on the back nine of his career, almost was able to tit that shot in front there. Sam Darnold. Yes, Sam Darnold. Yeah, one thing is that, and Dean, you can probably attest to this, but not exactly a Seahawks fan, but now with only 4 teams remaining, I'd like to see the Seahawks of those 4 teams. I mean, if the Broncos did it without their starting quarterback, that'd be amazing. I'm not a Sean Payton fan so much, but I wouldn't hate it. I'm just not a Rams fan. I'm just not. I most respect to Sean McVay and Stafford too, for that matter. And Patriots, come on, really? Can't you have a little bit more time off? Can't you just take little baby steps toward your next Super Bowl, right? But I mean, I really don't feel like I have too much a horse in the race. Chance, what's going on? Thanks for jumping in. Darth Jedi, Go Lightning, man, they are just absolutely torching the league. Micro, what's going on, man? Thank you for jumping in here. I know you just got done with a stream of your own. So I appreciate you at least stopping by to say hello. Hope you had a smooth stream. You were calling a pretty good game there too, huh? All right. So the Rangers have settled things down a decent amount. They've got the puck on the half boards. Rims around to the point, and Nedeljkovic, a nice pad save there. But the New York Rangers able to keep things moving in the zone. Off the rebound there and almost buried. And now the puck's in the net. That is a Rangers goal. And they're showing some fight. So Sam Carrick gets on the board for the Rangers here. Cortana treat. So it's 3-1 as the Sharks look kind of lost in their own zone there. A lot of inside positioning for the Rangers. And that's going to be, that's Sam Carrick's goal. And some life here for the Rangers, it looks like. It's either Red Wings or Lightning for the first. Isn't it crazy that the Red Wings have been competing for first place in that division? Unreal, man. They swept the Maple Leafs on the season. Good effort from Nedeljkovic. Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty sharp. Third line out for the Sharks. Eklund shot into a crowd of white jerseys. But he's got it again. Trying to keep this away from the defender on the boards. Worked over to the circle there. Liljegren a little trouble fumbling the puck there. Back out to the point. Liljegren feeds it down. Off the rebound. And Martin's got a save there. Rangers able to clear as the Sharks nearly get another one. You had a smooth surgery. All right, man. That's good to hear. It's kind of an odd feeling when you're looking at somebody who's digging into your skin and into your finger here and removing something, and you can't feel it, but you're like, this is terrifying to look at. I've been there before, man. Actually, one time I had a cyst here on my head right here, and I got numbed up, and then somebody, a dermatologist, actually like dug it out, but I couldn't feel it happening. It was the weirdest thing. That was interesting seeing two goalies for the Sharks and Panthers fighting each other. Loved that, right? That was fun. I like that Nedeljkovic was like, no, you don't get to do that to my guy. Vincent Desharnais had a hell of a game that night. Commercial break, by the way. I think the last one of the period. At least we can hope so. But yeah, the Rangers have woken up since the couple of power play goals that they conceded here. You had your eyes shut the entire time? Well, some people just they see needles and they're like, "Oh no," right? Like that's fine. That's fine. You're not the only one. That maybe you really like Nedeljkovic. I think Nedeljkovic needs to be he needs to be the 1A goaltender going forward. I hope Askarov can figure it out, turn it around, because at moments in games he looks really good, but he's having some trouble, whether that's playing the puck, whether that's, I think, kind of over committing to when moving laterally, and he's, for whatever reason, he's having trouble like securing the posts when the puck is behind the net. He's having a lot of trouble with that. But yeah, I saw the goalie fight. That was, I was right here. I was watching the game and I just yell, I'm like, goalie fight. And Mrs. Twister comes over. She's like, what's happening? I just heard goalie fight. And I'm like, goalie fight. Yeah, Mitch Marner returned to Toronto tonight. Did he? I haven't seen what his stat line looked like in the this evening, but Mitch Marner, did he have any points? Let's see here. Eichel goal. Actually, Mitch Marner didn't have a point tonight, but Rasmus Anderson had a point tonight. God, that's crazy. Mark Stone from Jack Eichel and Rasmus Anderson. Oh my God. Go Sabres, says happy Sabres fan. Wait, the last time you were here, were they still were you still happy Sabres fan? Well, anyway, happy Sabres fan. I am excited for your return. As the Buffalo Sabres, knock on wood, are still in a playoff spot. He wore a Bo Bichette jersey. That's funny. I don't follow baseball, but I get what you're saying. Oh, by the way, Sharks are on the power play. I guess this was that was awarded to them after the whistle. So Sharks on the power play. Play goes on here as I fumble around to get my soundboard. Wait, not that. Power play. All right, Macklin feeding it in front. And Rangers get the clear here with the first 30 seconds gone by. Sabres are a wagon as well. Maybe I need to do more Buffalo Sabre streams. Maybe. Wenberg in the corner. Funneled back to Klingberg at the point. And now Macklin at the dot. Looking down low, knocked away. And slapped clear by the Rangers. Lightning versus Sabres. Eastern Conference Final. I mean, that's probably more likely to be the first round. But I'm pretty sure I know who probably about 96% of the hockey community is going to be rooting for. Now Graf on the wing. 30 seconds left in the power play. Rangers PK looks really sharp here. Nice effort there from Eklund to keep that alive in the zone. He shoots and a rebound. Puck's loose. Eklund trying to bang home the rebound and now skated out by Radish. Excuse me, Noah Laba. Shows I know a lot about the Rangers. Josh Doan. Yep, Josh Doan. That's a very team-friendly deal, it looks like. Now we're back to full strength here. Rangers from center ice, sending it around the Sharks net. Thinking I might have to do some playoff streams if the Sharks make it. I don't know, actually, though. I got to watch it with Mrs. Twister. That's the most important thing. All right, Nedeljkovic covering that up. And we're down to about 3 minutes left here in the first period. And then don't forget, my friends, that we'll be joined at intermission by Sharks fan and YouTube content creator Mason from It's About Hockey. So in the pinned chat message and also in the stream description, I've included a link to Mason's channel. So go check him out. He's recapping the Sharks games. He also made a lot of NHL content last year, like other teams. I don't think he's been doing it as much this year, but we'll get the scoop on what he's doing with his channel and, of course, what his history is as a Sharks fan. And a shot from the point that is gloved by Spencer Martin with 2:39 left. The Lightning signed Moser to 7 years. Wow. Everyone thought that Geeky was the main piece of that deal. It was really Moser. That's interesting. I didn't know that somebody like that would be signed that long term. But then again, you look at somebody like Eric Chernak, right? He's on a long-term deal as well. Midnight Solar, welcome back. I'm just waiting for a good season for Columbus. It's been rough. At least we got a new coach. Yeah, I've got nothing to add to that. But especially with last year being, a sign of hope and, of course, a lot of emotion. This year has been disappointing. But, of course, the team is responding well with a change behind the bench. And that doesn't surprise me all that much, honestly. It's just that is Bonus going to be, is he going to be the long-term solution for them, right? But yeah, if you talk purely about 5-on-5 play here, this game's pretty even. If not, the Rangers have been the better team. And now a holding penalty to Mario Ferraro. It's delayed call, and we get the whistle. So the Rangers will go on the power play to close out this period with a minute 36 left. This would give a power play goal here. And remember, the Rangers are 10th on the power play. This would be a huge boost of momentum for them. Hi, good girl. I just have to see what happens. Well, I if you're a Blue Jackets fan, and I know Sabres fans for sure too, and Red Wings fans the last 10 years, right? Like that, it takes a degree of loyalty that I don't even know if I have in me. Nedeljkovic with a pad save. Play goes on. Here's Gavrikov. And now the bread man. Back to the point. One-timer. And it hits Trocheck. He gets put down by Desharnais. Puck gets rimmed around to Zibanejad. Miller back to the point. The one-timer. And Panarin fanned on that. Couldn't tell what happened there. That was weird. Trocheck fighting off two defenders. Gives it back to the bread man. Tommy boy, hey, good evening. Trocheck. Oh, looking for the tip play in front with Zibanejad, and the puck just sped through the crease. Down low again, knocked away by Dickinson. Still alive in the zone here with 40 seconds left in regulation. Panarin looking for the seam pass. Ramps off of Desharnais' stick. And now Dickinson boxes out on the other side. That was a nice play, but we have a scrum for the puck in the corner. Armageddon. What's going on? Thanks for jumping in here. We're about to bring in our guest, Mason from It's About Hockey. Hang tight, though. We got 10 seconds left. Panarin. He's got Trocheck, top of the circle. One-timer and looking. Oh, wait, last second. Shot and a nice block there from, couldn't tell if that was Liljegren, but that will do it for the first period. The Sharks strike on 2 power play goals in the first 2 minutes of the game, but ever since then, the Rangers have been arguably the better team, and they'll have a little power play time left here. When we start the second period, it's 3-1 San Jose Sharks. Did I see Craig Berube's head? Yeah, I did. All right, so we'll go now to our guy Mason from It's About Hockey. Cortana, I love you. I'm gonna hide you.
What's up, man?
Hey, Mason. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Great. First of all, I mean, look at this. That is one of the best backdrops I've seen on YouTube. That is stupendous.
Thank you, man. It took me a couple of years to accumulate some of the items, but yeah, it looks pretty good.
How'd you get started making videos on YouTube?
I've been making videos on YouTube, not specifically for the Sharks, but I've been making videos on YouTube for years, and then it's kind of been an off and on thing for a while. It was mostly football for a while, just kind of as like a hobby, just to talk a bunch of trash to other teams. And then I faded out, and then I kind of got back into it when I had some time on my hands and I was pretty bored. So I was like watching all the hockey content online. It was I wasn't a fan of like a lot of it. I mean, it's grown over the years. So I got into it, and then as like the last, like I would say like the last like 5 years, the hockey content has gotten way better.
Yeah. Man, that is the backdrop, the hat, like that is one of my favorite hats I've ever seen. That is just wonderful. And your quality, your production is really sharp.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, for those not familiar, this is Mason from It's About Hockey on YouTube. Mason, you're a Sharks fan. So did you grow up in the Bay Area? What's kind of your history as a Sharks fan?
Yeah, so I'm originally from the Bay Area, from Fremont.
Fremont?
I grew up there I moved to Oregon in 2016, so I've been in the Bay pretty much my whole life. I played hockey as a kid. I played for the Junior Sharks program. I actually was playing for the San Jose Blades before they even became the Junior Sharks. So that was, I forgot when they adopted the name. I think it was like 2000s when we were changed to the Junior Sharks. But yeah, hockey's been in my life pretty much since I was born. I play occasionally now. I don't play any adult rec leagues yet, but yeah, I play every once in a while and try to get on the pond when I can.
That's awesome. And what would you say is your favorite Sharks memory?
Oh, favorite Sharks memory. I mean, Game 7 against Vegas always comes to mind, but I mean, there's just a lot. I mean, I used to live down the street from the tank when I was like in my early 20s, so I would go to hockey games like by myself pretty much every other night I would get the cheap seats and just sit kind of wherever. I really didn't care. I was in the building. Yeah. So I've experienced like a lot of memories in the building. I mean, I think it was Game 7 against Detroit a couple of years, like I forget what year it was.
2011, yeah.
That was a crazy one. I mean, I was hammered the whole game, but it was like, back in the day is when Detroit fans would come and they would infiltrate the building. So it was a lot of smack talk going on in the building. And it was Detroit too. So, like we pretty much knocked Detroit out of the Western Conference after those series that we had. So those were good times, man. It was a lot of fun memories in that building.
That was also the game after Jeremy Roenick was on national TV calling Patrick Marleau's Game 6 performance gutless. And then he scored a goal. He just went, boop. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, those were like some of my best memories I can say, because that was probably when I was living by myself at the time. I was like 22 or whatever, and I was living in downtown San Jose. So like a lot of the games I went to, and especially the playoff series, those were fun for me.
Awesome, man. And now you're kind of in my neck of the woods. For those who don't know, I live in Idaho, but much closer to the Canadian border versus like Boise, which is way further down south. So have you followed the Spokane Chiefs at all, or not so much?
A little bit. My wife's from Spokane, so that's what kind of brings me here today. I mean, I was living in Hood River, Oregon for the last 7 years. We just decided to move closer to her family. She had moved down to the Bay Area with me. We moved to Oregon together, and then we got kind of tired of like not being around family, so we moved to Spokane. So I always knew about the Chiefs. Didn't follow them a whole lot just because, like I'm so focused on NHL as much as I possibly can. And as of late, college hockey. But now that like I'm here and like it's the closest professional team or semi-professional team, I can actually go and watch. I'm actually going to go to a game next weekend. So yeah, I pay attention to them as much as I can, but NHL pretty much takes up majority of my time.
I'll be there on Friday.
Nice.
Yeah. And
hit me up. I'll be around.
Awesome. And I think I'm going to go on, I think it's like February 20th, because they're playing the Vancouver Giants, and the starting goaltender for them is Joshua Ravensberger. That'll have to be a concession item when he's finally playing.
Yeah, that actually might be a good one to go attend. I was just thinking about the goaltending situation we're going to find ourselves in the next like 2 years, and I was like, oh, it'd be nice to see him play one of these times when he's around.
Yeah. Hood River, great spot, by the way. I haven't spent much time there so much, but I sometimes go across the river because that's where my fiance's family lives, or some of her family lives there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a nice area.
Yeah, that's super nice. Like I said, we were there for a while. We didn't want to move, but it just kind of felt like it was time, and it just got too expensive. And plus, like the closest hockey I can get to if I wanted to play or go watch is in Portland, and that's like probably like a 4-hour round trip if I want to do anything. So
yeah,
the advantage of being here closer to hockey for me was one of the advantages.
That makes sense. I'm gonna actually ask a couple questions from the chat here. So Ruthless Sharky, this is always a good one to ask people when they're making their first appearance. Who's your favorite Sharks player, past and present?
Past, you can probably see him on my wall behind me. Joe Pavelski. Not so distant past, but he's probably one of my favorite all-time Sharks players ever. I mean, Patrick Marleau always comes to mind as well. I remember him coming to the league and getting his rookie card when I don't even know how old I was, but Patrick Marleau for sure. But Pavelski, the run that we went on in the playoffs when he was captain, that was, for me, that was hands down. Like, I was so mad when we didn't re-sign him and he went on, and, we took Erik Karlsson, so we couldn't really make that happen, but I was really gutted when that happened. And current player, I mean, it's kind of the obvious, Macklin Celebrating for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, I look up and down the roster about who's doing. I mean, Macklin's obviously the obvious answer, but I'm also looking at players like the depth players who are coming up. I'm a huge fan of Igor Chernyshov right now. I'm mad that he went down, but I also understand how the business works, so I'm sure we'll see him again. But the guys in the pipeline, there's a lot of them coming up, and I'm really, really excited about Eric Polkamp coming up potentially next year.
That is a great deep cut of the Sharks prospect pipeline. A lot of people had never even heard of Eric Polkamp. When you have the likes of Misa and Dickinson and Chernyshov and even like Haltinen and Biestet, an AHL All-Star, right? What can you say about Eric Polkamp that our group here might not know about him? I mean, I know just very little myself.
Yeah, well, he just got nominated for the Hobey Baker for this year, so that says a little something about his game. As we know, like the Sharks, we need defensemen, and he's one of the defensemen that are coming up. And over the past 2 years, if we watched him in training camp and in the prospect scrimmages and all that stuff, he's one player that fans constantly talk about in group chats and wherever else. And he's just, if you pay attention to his game, he looks ready. He looked ready this past training camp, but he decided he wanted one more shot at the title or trying to get a national title. So he went back. I think his game is ready. A lot of people agree that think his game is ready, and obviously it's showing in NCAA right now. So I don't know. I'm excited. And like I said, we're looking at the depth. I'm looking at the depth chart right now for the people we need to re-sign for next year from our defensive core. That either they're going to be here or we trade the deadline coming up, and not a whole lot of people are talking about Eric Polkamp. I think they should be. He plays extremely well for the level he's at right now. And we see how Sam Dickinson's playing right now, and if he can fit into the same kind of role, I'll be happy with it.
Yeah, and actually on that subject, I admire how the Sharks have actually handled Dickinson in that he is such an offensive weapon coming into this season, and now he's learning how to play the true defenseman position and has made a lot of progress over this year. Does he have bad games? Does he have bad plays? Yeah, of course he does. But there are plays that he's making that I never would have seen that at the very start of the year. And I think he looks a lot more comfortable out there. What do you have anything else you want to add about Dickinson so far?
I mean, I think he's just finding his role. He's just being more confident. You can see it in his game. It's not reflecting on the score sheet as much as I know he would like to. And I know a lot of Sharks fans coming into the season were like, oh, he's coming up. He's a point getter. But he's a defenseman. He's a rookie defenseman. He's going to take some time to find his game. As long as he can play defensively sound, I'm okay with it. We don't need the points right away. Like, yeah, would I be happy with it? Absolutely. But as long as he's not giving up bad turnovers, bad mistakes, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Awesome. This is a little off topic, but do you have a favorite to win the gold medal in Milan for men's hockey?
I mean, I'm a huge USA hockey fan, so I'm never going to, not say USA, but yeah, that Canada roster is looking pretty crazy. And I even posed the question in my YouTube and on my social medias, how are we as American hockey fans going to root against Macklin Celebrini, as Sharks fans? So I'm like, I don't know. I'll deal with that battle when it comes up. But yeah, I would like to say USA, but honestly, gut feeling is just telling me Canada's got it.
I mean, I never even fathomed rooting for Canada when they had Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, Danny Heatley, later on like Mark Edward. I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
USA, baby. But now when you have the Max Saya on your team putting it on his back to get to hopefully get to the playoffs, but we'll, that's another topic to discuss. Yeah, I God darn it. I mean, it's going to be a treat seeing him out there, even not in a Sharks jersey.
It's going to be tough, but I look at it as advantage of like, he's 19 years old. He's going to play with the best players in the world, and he's on our team. That's only experience that he's going to put in his back pocket. And if we do make a push to the playoffs or get to the playoffs next year, he's going to probably rely on that. And that whatever knowledge he soaks up in that tournament, I'm sure he's going to use it at some point in his career with us. So that's the only advantage I can really take away from it right now, thinking about it.
Not to mention Sidney Crosby had said that he wants to play with him. I mean, that is incredible. I know they've trained together before, but just having that relationship with somebody who has had one of the most successful careers out there and understands how to be a leader, right? Yeah. I think it's just remarkable the mold that we're seeing Celebrini fit into. I never thought we would see that from somebody this young into their career. It's crazy.
I mean, I watch him every time he's on the ice, and I'm like, there's a little details in this game. I'm like, that's Sidney Crosby. That's like Sidney Crosby. That's like Sidney Crosby. And I'm just like, Mike Sullivan said it today. He sees Sidney Crosby in him a lot too, and I'm just like, if that's the case, I'm happy.
We'll do a couple more questions here. Again, guys, this is Mason from It's About Hockey on YouTube. Actually, on that subject, before I get to the next viewer question here, you were saying that you're actually going to create a second channel. So how are you going to divide things up between your main channel and this second channel?
Yeah. So my main channel now, It's About Hockey. The way I started out was just to make fun content. That's not the typical just talking head stuff that we see on YouTube. Although I do enjoy some of that stuff, to me, it's not the hockey content that I want to watch. When I'm sitting down at the end of the night, I don't want to watch a guy talk on camera about a team that I really don't have interest in. So I was like, you know what? When I make this channel, I was like, I'll make something fun. I have a background. I do social media marketing, and I do a lot of video editing for my own profession. So
that makes sense.
I have all the tools and stuff to do it. I just don't have the time as much as I want to. but as of late, when I got back into making content, when I moved to where I'm at now, I just wanted to get back into the swing of things. And the Sharks obviously have been blowing up this year. So I was like, I'll just get back to making Sharks content. And I started getting away from making the content I wanted to make for this channel. And I've been making more Sharks content. So I find myself trying to figure out, do I want to make content for Sharks, or I want to make content? I just want to make content all around, but I also don't want my channel just to be strictly Sharks. So I will have a new Sharks channel coming out this weekend that's just dedicated to talking about the Sharks all day long.
Oh, that's great news. I love the sound of that. Yeah, because I was looking at the videos and I'm like, okay, oh, whoa, you actually have a lot of stuff about the NHL looking at last year. And now this year, there's a lot of Sharks. Even myself, I'm kind of conflicted because I didn't expect the team to be this good. And now I'm just like,
it's hard not to talk about the Sharks. Like, it's really, that's all it is.
Yeah, even if you're not a fan of the team, I think that they've been one of the most talked about teams this year because who saw this coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to this question from Tommy Boy. Is this Sharks team on a trajectory to be a cup champion within 5 to 10 years? What are the missing pieces?
I mean, I could see them for sure, like making a deep push in the next, like probably like 3 years. But I was thinking about this today. As far as how we're structured, we're not a destination city, and you see teams like Vegas getting players who are just racking up players. It just seems like nonstop. We're a tax state. We're one of the heaviest taxed states in the whole entire country. It's the most expensive place to live. So we're not really a destination. So I think for the Sharks, they really have to build within the organization, drafting well, and they've been doing that pretty much so far. And if you look up and down the pipeline, we have hitters that are going to come up. Like I can 100% say that. Now, that's a lot of rookies. So in the next couple of years, we're going to need to add pieces to this puzzle that we have right now. So we're going to have to take some risky trades, probably some trades that fans aren't necessarily going to like, but are going to be for the bigger picture. And I'm okay with that, as long as, there's obviously pieces that aren't going to go anywhere. Ashcroft's not going anywhere. Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini. And I would say those are probably the only untouchables right now. But there's going to be some players, I feel like there's going to be some trades that we're going to see. They're going to be kind of head scratchers, but if you look up and down the pipeline, like I said, we have players that can fill the gaps. So do I see us being cup champions or cup contenders? I would say probably in the middle of 5 to 6 years, probably yes. I mean, who knows, it can go quicker, but we're going to have to build up a little bit more, I think. I really think we're going to have like a completely different looking team next year, to be completely honest.
Well, you were saying it earlier, the defense, you're talking about 5 UFAs, and I don't think we're clamoring for more than, I don't know if we even want one of them back on a term that's going to be more than just 1 or 2 years. We're not looking for somebody in that group and saying, oh, we can give them a 4-year deal. I don't think that's where the franchise is right now.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Okay, let's see here. We'll get to Emperor King. We'll have a Kings fan ask a question here. It's very important that we hear from other fan bases in our division. Take a playoff spot for the Sharks as a Kings fan. I don't mind missing the playoffs. Less pressure for you. Yeah, then that way we can get bounced by the Oilers instead of the Kings.
Yeah, who knows? We might bounce the Oilers ourselves, the way their goaltending is working out.
We'll get to Jake's question here. Do you have a favorite player who's not on the Sharks? Whether that's growing up or current, or
I mean, I'm always a fan of Patrick Kane. I think he's always been one of my favorites. I mean, growing up, I was a huge Eric Lindros fan. I wore 88 because of Eric Lindros. I have a poster of him right here hanging out right next to me. I mean, I'm a fan of the game. Like, there's not like really, I appreciate the game, not just so much where I'm a total fanboy for anybody specific. I just appreciate the tactics of a game and the skill of a player. But Patrick Kane's always one that's stuck out to me. Honestly, Wyatt Johnston, he's been one player that I've been just, I swear to God, if Mike Greer could have pulled something off to get him in an offer sheet, I would have been all for it. But he's one I pay attention to a lot. And again, any of the young USA hockey players, I'm totally watching those guys.
Awesome. And let's see here. I can't believe I'm reading this, but with the current rosters, if the Stanley Cup final was Lightning versus Sharks, I have a follow-up on this. Who wins the cup and in how many games?
In the finals? And if we get to the...
I'm like, well, what's it going to take for us to get there?
4-1 Tampa, but, give us one. But, with this current roster right now, it's hard to beat Vasilevsky, playoff Vasilevsky, especially Stanley Cup Vasilevsky. So,
all right. Well, let's take a step back here. Let's say we actually make the playoffs. It's not a given. We're actually not in a playoff spot right now. But if the Sharks get into the first round, you can either face the Avalanche, the Golden Knights, or the Oilers, who have been to the last two finals. So pick your poison.
give me the Oilers. I'll take the Oilers. I mean, I feel like they're kind of like us. They don't have depth scoring as much as like we think they should have it. I think it's a pretty even matchup right now. I mean, first round, if it wasn't for two bad plays from the Kings, they would have been bounced in the first round last year. And they got hot, and they got lucky right at the right time. I think the Sharks definitely have the talent to do that in the first round against that team. You put us up against Vegas or the Avalanche, I think we're getting steamrolled, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll just help Blackwood and Burns move closer to getting a Stanley
Right.
Cup as Nick makes the save there.
Right.
Okay, so we'll close it off here. It's been awesome hosting you. Again, where can people find you on YouTube and on other social platforms? Excuse me.
I'm pretty much everywhere as It's About Hockey. So if you look that up, you'll see my logo pretty much on every platform. And then, like I said, coming up this weekend, I have a new channel. It's going to be called Sharks Breakdown. That's where you'll find all my Sharks content. So I will link all that stuff on my current channel. So if you're a Sharks fan, you want to see what I'm talking about, that's not just the general league, all the Shark content will be living there going forward next week.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mason. Have a great weekend. Enjoy watching the rest of this game. Hopefully the Sharks can get it together 5-on-5 here. We'll be, of course, tuning into your updates, and hopefully we'll get you on the show again soon, okay?
Sure, man. Appreciate it, man. And like I said, if you're in Spokane, hit me up, man. We'll meet up.
You betcha.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right. Good night.
Later.
All right, guys. That was Mason from It's About Hockey. Thanks for your questions. Sharks with a 2-on-1 here. Macklin. Oh, and a pass that was too hard for Will Smith. Otherwise, that could have been a 4-1 goal right there. Fisherman Islanders, what's up? Thanks for joining us here. And look, even though we don't have Mason anymore, we've got a sleeping puppy. Or wait, well, now she just woke up. Here. How about a round of applause, aka a treat for Cortana, for Mason right there. Thank you for the questions, guys. Great guest. Yeah, Mason, man, he is just very personable. Straight shooter. I've never spoken with him before, but I've been curious to chat with him, especially since he's local to me here and is a Sharks fan. We don't have a ton of Sharks fans, but we'll see some more teal, I think, around probably the Spokane area, at least around Spokane Chiefs hockey games, hopefully in the near future. By the way, the Sharks had to kill off part of the Rangers power play to start this period. Yeah, Fisherman Islanders, you guys proved me wrong, that's for sure. I thought things were going to go in a totally different direction for you guys, but goaltending's been really good, and Schaefer is having the best season for a rookie defenseman since Makar? I don't know. I mean, he's been magnificent. All right, let's see here. Do we have by the way, it's the second period, so I gotta update this here. It's the second period. Eddie, what's up, man? Or Nick, what's going on, man? Devils up 3-0. Oh, hey, it's good to see you guys playing with a lead for a team. Let me. Oh boy. Hamanaho. It almost looked like a Hawaiian word, even though I think the guy's probably Finnish with the way that he spells Lenny. Dark Fear is hanging out with us, so got all the important people here on a Friday night. I knew the Ducks hit a bumper, lost a couple games, but hopefully we can start winning again. Yeah, they've freaking 5 in a row, right? So they woke up, they hit NHL 500, and then they're like, well, shit. Which is it looks good for me because I had them third in the division this year. My time being a hockey fan, do I think the Sharks have one of the smallest fan bases? It sure feels like it these days, but it'll, the buzz around the Sharks, it's going to generate a lot more interest in the community. Attendance is going up a lot. So it's a small fan base, but not I wouldn't say it's the smallest. It's just that, you know, the Bay Area was kind of spoiled there with the 4 championships of the Warriors. The 49ers had some really good years. The Giants won some World Series. And the Sharks, they just don't get the same spotlight, just given that they're San Jose's team. Projection about the Sharks. I don't know, because I didn't see anything here. So you'll just have to repost it. I can't necessarily see every message, but I'll take a look again. Go Hawks on Sunday. Who do they play? I know that I was saying earlier that the game last night against the Canes, I didn't watch all of it, just a little bit of it. But Oliver Moore, what a way to celebrate your 21st birthday. You take a freaking huge punch to the face from you decide to go up against Alexander Nikishin, who's probably about 40 pounds heavier. Take a shiner, and then you score the shootout winner. What a game. And Knight balled out, man. Sports media is finally talking about the Sharks. I mean, it's mostly like the radio stations, right? And like the local news stations outside of, like KNBR doesn't give a crap about the Sharks. They decided to like finally show up when that team was never talked about when I was living there. Talking about the Seahawks. Oh, I'm not a Seahawks fan, but I don't really care about the other teams right now. So I hope they win because I live in Seahawks territory. So, hey, if the people around me are happy, I'll be happy. I wouldn't mind Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl, even as a Vikings fan, given such an amazing season he had, and then he walked in free agency. But anyway, Michkov scored. Well, that's good. They're going to need more from him if they want to get in the playoffs. Take care of Sherwood. You betcha. I've heard nothing but great things about how this guy plays. So big save Nedeljkovic, by the way. So I'm feeling like he's gonna head into San Jose, a wanted individual. If we win a cup, the Sharks will get up there with the Giants, 49ers, and Warriors. Oh, I still don't think so. Look, San Jose's one thing. Like, it'll be an amazing moment for them, but we got a long way to get there, so I don't want to talk about that too much. Omega Fish, what's going on? Thanks for popping in here. As the Mammoth have been on a bit of a tear as of late. Rangers shot off of Desharnais, and Celebrini, I think, knocked somebody down just now. Now Colin Graff trying to get around the defender, gets tripped up, no call. Sharks top line is still out there. Now they'll get the change. Sharks are the most exciting team in the NHL. They're kind of up there, right? Nobody thought that they would be anywhere where they are right now. It's been a magical year. Liljegren shoots, looking for somebody at the side of the net there, but blocked by the defense. Cody Glass had his 12th goal in 40 games. Yeah, that is a career year for him. Previous high was 14. The Mammoth and the Predators. Predators are still kind of hanging around. Gaudette. And now Misa out there. And he's double teamed. Looks like the Rangers are going to get the clear here. Down to about 13:20 left in the period. And that's a Toffoli chipping it by the defender. And Gavrikov into the neutral zone. Handed off for Schneider. Looking for... Oh, man, that was a nice play, Schneider. Just couldn't quite connect with his teammate there. A shot from the circle. And the Rangers are looking to threaten a little bit here. I thought the Ducks, the Mammoth, and Sharks would all be close to get in. Looks like it. Yeah, I mean, the only other team that you're kind of leaving out of that wild card conversation is the Kraken. And I mean, there's reason, because third place in the division's up for grabs as well. Seattle was hot there for about 3 weeks, and then they cooled off a little bit. One thing I do like about the Sharks from a more objective standpoint is that, when you compare all those teams, is that the Sharks have just been very steady. They've been very consistent pretty much since like the start of November. They haven't lost any more than 3 games in a row. I think that only happened maybe one time, if not twice. And their winning streaks haven't been that big either. So I kind of like that. Not to mention the Sharks have, I don't know about the other teams, but as we get to a commercial break, don't forget, guys, the Sharks have played much of their tough schedule already. Like pretty much when you look at their opponents going into the last third of the season, they have to play Colorado one time, but they don't have to play the Stars. They don't have to play the Wild. They don't have to play the Golden Knights. They have to play the Oilers 4 times, which is interesting. They don't have to play they play one game against the Maple Leafs. They're not even a top team right now. But no more games against the Lightning or the Red Wings. They've got 2 against the Canadiens and 2 against the Sabres. No games against the Hurricanes, the Penguins, 1 against the Islanders. So they've really taken care of all the tough stuff in the schedule. Kroenke, Rams or Seahawks? I'll definitely go for the Seahawks here. Yeah, let's root for Sam Darnold. I think the Seahawks have been a hell of a team to watch this year. How crazy would it be if Disney owns Sesame Street and the Grinch? They pretty much buy up everything, right? So, Lautaro, what's going on? Good evening. I've had what? I'm at the bottom of my cider here. I think I need a little bit more sauce. I might have to wait a second. I wonder if Mrs. Twister can get me a beer. It's good to have you here, Lautaro. Hope you're having a pleasant Friday. You're going for the Patriots? Thank you, darling. I love you. The future wife with the coming through with the beverage. -40. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I live too far west to get a lot of those cold blasts that come in. Sometimes we'll get one. Like last year, we had a day where with wind chill, it was like -35 here in Idaho. But yeah, we're at about 22 right now, I think, something like that. Sharks are on the power play, by the way. I did not even notice that. I think it was called as we cut to the commercials. So the Sharks are on a. There we go. So we got a power play. It's our. We've got 2 goals on the man advantage already. Oh, thank you, Riley. I appreciate that, man. Damn injuries for the 49ers. I mean, good teams find ways to win despite injuries, and the Niners did a lot of that this year. But ultimately, it just wasn't their year for it, and it sucks. But you still got to be like, wow, they did a great job. I think, all things considered, even if you got blown out in the divisional round, winning in Philadelphia and almost winning the division too. Chicago's also very cold. Yeah, I can't imagine. That's probably like -50 over there. The AHL Outdoor Classic. I didn't even know they were doing that. -25. Wow. Damn. You guys are having all the fun. I wouldn't want to be in that every day per se, but I like really cold weather. It's fun. I don't know. As long as you're not like, yeah, as long as your heater works, you're fine. I would rather put on clothes than take off clothes in most situations. All right, here's Eklund at the half wall to Orlov. Eklund down low for Graf in front, and nice pad save there. Stretching it out was Martin. Eklund trying to hold the zone, and he does. Regenda over to Macklin. Back pass, shot Orlov over the net. Cooley banking it off the boards and just able to get it clear. as the power play expires, and we are coming up on the halfway point in this game. Eklund feeding it, looking for Graf. It's now behind the net, and Regenda gets tripped up. Are the Sharks going to get a power play from this? No, they won't. I think that's the right call. How's everyone going? Despite the time difference, 1:20 a.m. Oh my gosh. We had a first division soccer match that just finished due to rain. And I know hail and power outages in the area. Wow. I mean, I know that Argentina is usually a drier country. And then you got hail on top of that. Now here's Ostapchuk in transition, and the backhander is saved by Martin. So the fourth line threatening here for the Sharks as they are out shooting the Rangers 20-16. Don't remind me, I'm in Canada. It's cold here, -31. That's minus... I don't know if I would think that's Celsius, but there's not really much of a difference at that point, right? I know, right? Oh, sorry, I accidentally kicked my camera. But look, you get Cortana's face. Look at that face. Look at that face. Does that face need a treat? That face needs a treat. Here you go. 6-3 Flyers in Denver. Wow. I think the Avs have what, maybe one loss at home in regulation. I like seeing it though, man. I am pulling for the Flyers to get in the playoffs, straight up. So the Avs have only lost one time in regulation at home. All things considered, the Niners had a great season. Even without getting to the Super Bowl, this team could have buckled midseason with all the injuries. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Just to get into the playoffs when you're in that division and then win a game on the road and against the Eagles, thank you. Even though I want the Flyers to get in the playoffs, that doesn't mean I'm a Philadelphia sports fan per se. But anyway, Bruins have been good. Yeah, Bruins. They're on a really nice run right now. Nope, I don't think anybody's talking about the Bruins for that matter. And that one regulation loss by the Avalanche was to the Predators. All right, here's Wenberg. Gets a little bit held up. Sends it around the net for Toffoli. An area pass that Dickinson's going to pinch in on. Dickinson pinching in, able to keep it deep in the zone. Regenda, nice support behind the net. He'll flutter it back to the point. A shot, and can't quite get through the traffic. And Schneider. And the Rangers are able to avert disaster there and clear it. No icing. Lebowski, good evening to you. Was it right having Misa in the NHL? Yeah, I think so. It's unfortunate that he got injured and missed so much time because he makes a lot of really small, smart plays. And I think that just with more reps, he's going to start getting in on the score sheet a little bit more. So I don't think that there's anything that instills any doubt in my mind that Misa shouldn't be playing with the big guys this year. Argentina could be said to have every climate. Oh, really? Hail is generally infrequent, but not impossible. This happened in a more mountainous region. Yeah, Argentina is a huge country. So I guess it makes sense that you have just about every type of climate there. I mean, there really aren't that many. I mean, when you think about it, right? Like China, India, and the United States are probably geographically like the most diverse in the world. And then Argentina could be certainly up. Could be up there. Alex, what's going on? I'm recovering from surgery. Oh God. I hope that that you weren't in much pain going into that or after that. Undead Avalanches has joined us. Welcome, and good luck to your backup coming up this weekend. That's very, very unfortunate for what was a hell of a game, really. How bad the Blues are. Yeah, when I was making my season predictions, I thought to myself, how'd the Blues get to the playoffs last year? And I should have went with my gut instinct. Like, I'm not that impressed with the roster. I think it was the Jim Montgomery effect, but the thing is that can be very short-lived for the teams that he coaches. I thought the Bills had that. I can't lie. Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't understand the rules enough, but to me, like especially when you take a still frame of that catch, well, the interception, right? It's that it's like he has possession and one knee is down, but it's because it's a continuous play that it's not considered a football move or something like that. I mean, the NFL just it's just so silly how they can't call that a catch. But if that's the rules, fine, you know. But anyway, and now I'm in the background with a beer, enjoying some great hockey and the Australian Open. Oh, tennis. Is that that's the tennis tournament, right? I used to play a lot of tennis, but it's been a long time since I was on the court. Rangers, man, they are threatening. They are swarming the crease. Cortana, you're okay. Wait, we got Mrs. Kitty? Mrs. Kitty. Mrs. Kitty. Mrs. Kitty. Oh, come here. Oh, we got Mrs. Kitty. Oh. Sorry, Cortana. Here's Graf. Gets tripped. Oh, no, nothing came of that. Got Mrs. Kitty. Hi, sweetie. The Sharks defense has been on one today. Yeah, they're scrambling for survival for sure. Speaking of time difference in Australia, it's past midday into the afternoon. Yeah, I think you're correct. Oh, but the Sharks are going to get a power play here. I would update you more, but I've got this big kitty in my arms here. This one is so chill. Really, you can do whatever you want to her. She's real sweet. She was actually a feral cat, but she's in a loving home, right, Mrs. Kitty? Okay. Let's get Cortana back on camera. Hi, girl. There we go. Here, Cortana, can you lie down? Lie down. Here. Lie down. All right, fine. Here. Come here. No, Inari's not in heat. I won't underestimate the Pats. As a Broncos fan, I was hurt when Knicks got injured. Yeah, man, the evil empire has returned. Did anybody see that video from Tom Grassi? The if the NFL was scripted for the divisional round. That was incredibly produced. That is one of the best videos I've ever seen on YouTube. Right there, I laughed and I said, "Oh my gosh, he's taking it to a level I didn't even know was possible." It was something else. Do Cortana and Mrs. Kitty get along well? Sometimes. Cortana gets very jealous, though. Remember, Cortana just lived with me for almost a decade. Fire. Oh, hey, what's up? I sorry if I didn't say hello earlier. Fire GM Drury. Panarin won't stay with the Rangers. Yeah, you just got to make sure that you trade him, before the deadline. Oh, yeah, that's right. Alex asked me this question. Will the Sharks win more or less of their next 6 games before the Olympic break? I have to see who they're playing. I know they're playing Calgary and Edmonton, but they got to play the Avalanche as well, right? So, I mean, they've been a very win 1, lose 1, or win 2, lose 2 kind of team. So, I would say more is likely, but I'm not like betting on it per se. They're a 500 team on the road too, and most of those and all those games are on the road, right? But that's one reason why I like the Sharks in this group of teams that are battling for the playoffs, because they've been actually a very consistent team for the last couple months. Very steady. Sharks are on the power play, by the way. I am chilling. It's nice. Right on. If you're in Arizona, it's probably not that cold either. Actually, you could be cold. You could be in Flagstaff. I would think Flagstaff's pretty cold. Alex, I love Celebrini. Me too. He's like the son I haven't had. And now I've got myself my one of my favorites brewed in Montana here, Jeremiah Johnson. They got a tasting room, just a hop, skip, and a jump from my home here. Pat's defense is underrated, even though they've got Mike Vrabel as their head coach. Mike Vrabel, man, I always think of the touchdowns that he scored. I don't think that Stidham can do it for the Broncos, but I hope they find a way. Yeah, good luck to them, man. Whoa, MJ's. Oh, I thought it was MJ at first. Unless it is MJ and it's a different name. Happy New. I just see the writing though, and I know it's MJ. Did you change your name, or are you actually somebody who's not MJ? Well, anyway, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate that. Happy New Year. It's been forever. Hope me, Mrs. Twister, and Cortana had a great holiday season. All the best in 26. Sorry about the Vikings, but there's hockey. Hey, at least they didn't, and they won 5 games in a row to really hurt their draft position. But I enjoyed some wins at the end of the year. That's your email handle. All right, man. Thanks so much. Let's get some treats. Hey, Cortana, treats. Treats? Here, I'll give you something different. Here, $20 from MJ, Cortana. Here, come here, girl. Here, come here. There we go. What a good girl. Thank you so much, Mr. MJ. MJ, I bet Chicago was pretty crazy the last couple of weeks. I mean, I was hoping that they would beat the Rams. I really was. And that throw by Williams, where he was fading away on the 40-yard line, was incredible. Not to mention, I love that they beat the Packers, of course. Orlov. All right, so Sharks power play is expiring. Rangers are getting a guy out of the box. Here they come in transition. Thank God that wasn't much of a threat there. Chicago was super crazy. Yeah, I would imagine so. Still 3-1 Sharks though, and what's been a pretty much a toss-up game for a long while. The Rangers have put those first 2 minutes of the first period behind them. Oh, delicious Scotch ale. The 14-yard Hail Mary play. The 40-yard Hail Mary play. The Bears beating the Packers made you feel so happy, yeah. I mean, that was the greatest throw and catch ever. Yeah, it's if they would have won that game, that would have been right up there. But as someone who was kind of a Caleb doubter, I mean, from a non-Bears fan perspective, I'm enjoying watching them play a little bit. Did I see Indiana and Miami? No, I don't watch college football, so I didn't really have an interest in that. I mean, maybe if like TCU was playing, like they did Georgia a few years ago and lost 62-7. I mean, TCU, if I have a favorite football program, it is the Horned Frogs. They were purple. Thank you. What's going on with the Rangers? Are they taking the same downward spiral as the Canucks? I mean, that's what JT Miller will do to you, unfortunately. But Drury says they're not like rebuilding. He says they're going to retool. The Canucks might be tearing things down a little bit more than that because they're entertaining trades for Elias Pettersson. All right, Blitzcat, we'll see you. Deuces. Thanks for joining us this evening. Yeah, when Macklin scores 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, you would think that he'll find a way to get the Hattie. So let's hope. But the Sharks are look, this game is far from over, really. Oh yeah, by the way, I have jersey rankings to do. We'll do some jersey rankings together for the intermission, okay? Sharks jersey rankings. Super Bowl, who's it going to be? It's I don't want to jinx Sam Darnold, so I'm going to say Patriots and Rams. You want to do some jersey rankings with us? Awesome. It's all Sharks jerseys. It is a Sharks stream, but I think you'll still be entertained by that. Not David Quinn on the other side of the bench looking mad. It is kind of funny seeing him back behind a bench. Okay. Here's Lafreniere. Oh, nice stick check there from Orlov. All right, now Graf is able to clear it down. Who is David Quinn? Yeah, who is David Quinn? If you're seriously asking, that was the Sharks coach before Warsofsky took over. Who and David Quinn had succeeded Bob Bugner. Let's not forget Boogeyman. I'm Boogeyman. Tell me, oh. I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, really, this period has been mostly Rangers, except for like a couple Sharks power plays. Oh wait, it's not even the middle of the period. It's the last 30 seconds. My bad, guys. Here. Nedeljkovic, though, has definitely come to play. He's looking good. Bob Bugner, that's a name I haven't heard in forever. I want to say he's an assistant with the Red Wings right now. You know, I have no look. Boogie was all right. Boogie was he was all right. That team was the Sharks teams were so bad, and Bugner he almost got us a first overall pick. He got close, and then in comes David Quinn, and our tank commander was very successful. Well, not tank commander, tank captain, because the tank commander was Mike Greer, who, man, that's one thing the Sharks have really done a great job on is letting Mike Greer run this program. I mean, there's a long way to go until this team is a Stanley Cup contender, but damn it, I like what I see so far from Mike Greer. All right, guys. Well, second intermission here. The Sharks hanging on to that 2-goal lead, which is, as they say, the most dangerous lead in sports. But hey, not bad so far, right, guys? My beard has 2 different colors. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's got 4 different colors because I'll pluck some of the gray from it, and some of these hairs are actually like strawberry blonde, if not red. So I've got a quad colored beard. Yeah, it's crazy, man. 4, yeah. Yo tengo 4 colores. All right, guys, let's rank some Sharks jerseys. I've got tier maker queued up, and we'll see what you guys think. Just give me one moment here to get this, get the windows looking correct here. All right, we're going to have to do these quickly. We've got 17 different designs here. The Sharks have had essentially 17 different jerseys throughout their history. A couple times jerseys have been reissued, right? Let me get this here. It's at second intermission. You guys are, by the way, thank you so much. You guys are a fantastic group, as always. But tonight, you betcha, you're in my S tier for tonight. The goalie fight was crazy. Yeah, Alex, that was so much fun. A petition by Bills fans has been started to bring back McDermott. That doesn't surprise me, honestly. Buffalo fans, man, I'm pulling for you. I feel for you as a Vikings fan. All right, guys. So the first jersey is the 1991 teal. So give me your grade in the chat. So you guys just shout out S, A, B, C, or D. Where does the original Sharks teal rank? And you can include when that jersey was reissued for the 25th anniversary and for the 30th anniversary. 7-3 Flyers. Oh my God. That's nightmarish if you're an Avalanche fan. Shoot. All right, the OG teal. I'm seeing A, S, B, S, A, B, A, C, B. Only vote one time for that specific jersey. Better than the gray one. Oh, you mean the reverse retro one? Yeah, that would probably be toward the bottom of the rankings. So A, S, B, S, A, B, A, C, B. We'll throw my vote in there as well, which would be, it's right up there. The Hockey News, or the Sporting News, I think, ranked this as the greatest hockey jersey of all time. Not even NHL jersey. It's the greatest hockey jersey of all time. But some of you say B, and I'll respect that. We'll put this one in A. It's a fantastic jersey. If not, it could even be higher up. All right, we'll put it in A. Let's go to the next one. The next one is a original white. So this is what they were wearing at home games. Look at that. You got Doug Wilson, the first captain in Sharks history. So we've got the OG teal in A. Where should this one rank? Love that 75th anniversary. Yeah. Brings back some feels, I think, for some of the viewers here. SCBS. S. It's not speaking to you. That's fair. I wouldn't rank this one quite as high personally, although I really I can't believe the Sharks haven't actually reissued this jersey just yet. A, same tier as the last one. What will the NHL do for the 125th anniversary? That will be in the year 2042. God, how freaking old will I be? Oh my God. Dude, I don't even want to know. I'll be what? I can't even do the math right now. It's terrifying to think how old I'm going to be when that comes around. All right. So we got, all right, let's take a look at this again. So SSCB, SCBA, B. Okay, it's looking like a B. Looking like a B. Yeah, I think I'll be like, what will I be? Why can't I do math right now? Because, all right, we'll put this guy in B. All right, guys. Now look at this. We've got the what they're wearing for the 35th anniversary season. All right, so we've got the 2000. What is that? The 1998 actually, 1998 teal right here. So this is what they're wearing now for the 35th anniversary, and here we've got Mike Greer, I believe in 2007. I mean, look at that, Mike Greer. What a gamer! What a gamer, dude. And that was the kind of player that you think would actually make for a good manager or for a good coach or something like that. So it's pretty freaking cool that we've actually, brought Greer along to now, kind of lead from a different angle with this new crop of talent he's helped recruit. I don't know how I feel about gray. I was never a huge fan of this specific jersey. I like the white one more. ASBASC. We're not worthy S. That's right. Former Dolphins general manager. So now you're telling me we started to win games. Awesome. And possibly hurt your drafting position. Hey, man, I was going to say, for the Jets with that roster, do they have it in them to actually get back into the playoff talk? No one's talking about them, but it could be. It could be. All right, I think that this might be good enough. Let's take a look here. ASB, ASC, A. That looks pretty A. That looks pretty A to me. Yeah, I'll be. Oh, geez. Will I be on the other side of 50? Holy god dang. All right, let's go to yeah, we'll put this in A tier. I think this got a high enough grade. All right, next one is going to be, yeah, I'm terrified to know how old I'm going to be. All right, so now we've got the 1998 white jersey. Now, if I were to do these rankings myself, I'd probably have this one right here would be from the late 90s into the aughts. I'd probably have that. I don't want to say C. I mean, like that's pretty. Greer looks pretty damn great in that jersey. But Owen Nolan in this jersey, I like it quite a bit. Now, here's a jersey. Riley's just throwing S-bombs here in the chat. I mean, hey, I think this one's quite underrated. Underappreciated. SSABAB. Shane Doan should be the owner for the Coyotes. He should be at least like was he ever the president for the organization? I think maybe. I don't know. But it'd be cool to see, of course, him at the helm for something like that. I'm glad that at least his son is doing really well right now. The colors fit together better here. I actually would agree with that. So let's take a look here. So S A B A B B. All right, that looks like another A. We got a lot of these to get through, so here we go. He was assistant to the president. Okay. MJ, always full of wonderful hockey and non-hockey knowledge too. I didn't like Miruello. Yeah. I don't think too many people did. All right, so now we're going to go to the 2001 black, the first Sharks black jersey. Where they swap the colors of the NHL logos with other teams. That sounds like some real rage bait, but I can't say I saw like one post-to-post jersey concepts ranking with something similar with that, I think. Yeah, your film knowledge or something like that is unparalleled in among YouTube viewers. We got Castle Siege 53. What's going on? Thank you for joining us this evening. And did the Stars get the win tonight? You guys were playing the Blues. I will not accept anything less than a win for the team that I said was going to win the Stanley Cup. But the Dallas Stars did get a regulation victory against the Blues. That's good for them. All right, so does any? Oh, sorry, I didn't even actually put the jersey in here. What do you guys think? The original black. This was my first Sharks jersey. I asked Mama Twist if she would get me this for Christmas back when jerseys were $65 for a replica, and she did not disappoint. It was a blank for 65. S. All right, we're doing that already. We're doing it already. You're god darn right. This should be an S. Yes, absolutely. Is it blank at the bottom? Yeah, it is. But look at Patty Marleau. That's a stone cold killer in a black Sharks jersey. All right, we'll do that. Okay, now we got the 2007 teal, and look at that. We got the choo-choo train for this one. Let's see here. I don't think he ever hit 30 in this jersey. Sabres will win their game tomorrow. Well, they don't play the Sharks, so good luck to them. Dank monkey. Dank monkey. My funky monkey. 4 and 5. Before we were 2 and 5. Well, the Dallas Stars were on quite a slide there. The Sharks shoulder patch is really nice. You know, I think I'm in the minority there. I didn't like the jumping shark. It was so weird when the Sharks actually rolled these out, I will say. There are bits of it that I like and things about it that I don't like. BSCA SAAA. Wow, you guys really like this one. I think that's probably graded as like the second best one. All right. Sharks should try to acquire Alex Tuck to help out Celebrini. Well, we just got Kiefer Sherwood, so I don't think we're going to be making any other upgrades at forward. I think it's going to be more on defense, honestly. All right, now we got the 2007 white jersey. And Jake, I think that's an A. Yeah, you're saying A. This is one where like the orange stripes to me really stand out in not so good of a way. I don't know. It just looks like, I don't know, I see spaghetti or something. If the Stars did a Mooterus jersey, I would question yourself just saying. Yeah, that one was so ugly that I never, ever wanted to collect it. Okay, so we got what? B, B, A, S, B, C, B. Orange stripes bring it down. That's fair. But Danny Heatley doesn't bring it down. Danny Heatley's fresh. Just slightly weaker. Okay. All right. So we'll throw it in B. Front of B. All right. Now we go to the black armor, the Seagate black armor. What is that? 2008? So the Sharks were notorious for sucking in the playoffs with these jerseys. They did actually have a waist stripe on this one. This one actually has the patch on the chest for George Gunn III, the original owner of the Sharks. Really? Okay, so ASAA AB. I always think Zubov as a player, as a star. Dude, Zubov, he did some great things, not just with the Rangers, but even with the Penguins. He flashed a little bit over there. The Hall of Fame defenseman. That's who the Sharks need. They need today's version of Sergei Zubov. They need that right-handed booming shot. All right, we're gonna put this guy very comfortably in the A tier. Let's bring her up right about here. You guys seem to like that one quite a bit. For me, this is maybe a B tier. I think it's the, I don't know if it's the worst of the black jerseys, but yeah, the George Gunn patch actually looks really fresh. All right, now we've got the 2010s Sharks, right? Granted, they had 2010s teal. So they had that shoulder yoke, they had the orange on the numbers, then they stripped things down, I think starting in like 2011 or 2013. And this is a later version of it, but it's essentially the same thing, just no numbers on the chest here. So again, there's no actual waist stripe with this one though. I mean, dude, just look at this, man. This is a San Jose icon that we're seeing right here, Logan Couture. You got to hope that Cooch stays around too. I don't know where his wife's from, but they got a young family. I could see Couture basically staying in San Jose and going back to Ontario every now and then, or the other way around. Like, could you imagine Logan Couture, even though late in his career, imagine if he wasn't injured, right? If he was centering the third line. I mean, him and Pavelski, man. Those two guys were the most clutch on this team. They wore that jersey in the conference final. If the Blackhawks weren't unstoppable, the Sharks would have been in the finals. The thing, though, is that they got swept in that series, and they were very strong in the regular season, too. Misa's living with the Coutures. I thought he was living with somebody else, but I could be wrong. ASAAB solid jersey. I mean, I think a lot of these are going to end up in the A tier, but we'll definitely throw this guy in here as well. Yeah, just right about here. All right, we'll go to MJ, and don't forget I was living in Chicago then. That was miserable. All right, so now we have the 2010s white jersey. So this one was not really produced all that much for retail. In this case, you have Timo Meyer with the jumping shark. They also had the version with the SJ on the angry shark, right? Which was a little bit more my thing, I thought. Logan Couture needs to be in the Sharks Hall of Fame. Yeah, like if they do like a Ring of Honor or something like that, I'd love to see him there as well. If he wasn't, I mean, shoot, if he didn't have the injuries that he did, he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but he'd be Hall of Very Good. AB or BAB C, too boring. And you know what? I would agree with you too, MJ. B S Fisherman was dark times for you as an Islanders fan. We hate that jersey. I know a lot of them do. That's very fair. The rest of the hockey community loves that jersey, not because the Islanders were bad in it. Wait, are we already in the third period? Oh my God. How am I going to do this? All right. What are we going to do for this guy? B tier? All right. This is B tier. All right. Real quick. What about the 2015 Stadium Series? Go fast? Okay. I'll Sonic the Hedgehog all the way to the finish line here. So I need, during commercial breaks, possibly. We got the Outlaw hanging out with us. Outlaw, one of our regulars in the Twisted Wrister Discord. Thank you. Older jersey designs were best. CCA, yeah, this one's a little polarizing. Not too many people like this one. I like it. I don't think it's great. I see some C's, some A's. The triangle behind the shark makes it cool. We want fish sticks. Fish sticks, yeah, I like fish sticks. Okay. All right. Well, we don't have anybody in the C tier. We're gonna prop this at the end of the B tier. All right. Well, you guys are great. We're gonna get back to the game, okay? But we'll come back to the rankings at intermission. All right. So I wish I didn't have to end this, but we're gonna take a pause from it if that's okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, it's the third. I'm gonna update that right now. Thank you. I think there's going to be like one jersey that ranks in the C tier for that. But yeah, thank you for your understanding here as we get back to the actual stream. And we've got Cortana with her forelimb here in the foreground. Is any of the big snowstorm coming my way? No, not at all. Like it's been record warmth. Not recently, but like last year, for example, there was an Arctic blast or a cold blast, and that hit us hard. Like with wind chill, we got down to like minus 35, and we're only about 5 hours away from the coast, the West Coast. So when it gets that cold, that is like record setting for us. But no, we're not getting any of that right now. I like the cold too. I always have fun with that, but it's still cold. It's like 20 degrees, but yeah, not nearly as bad. Three losses in a row for Askarov. Yeah, there are still mechanics with Askarov's game that need improvement. He has the athleticism. His raw athleticism is great, and I like really he is somebody the fans are going to get behind a whole lot because he's so entertaining. Not just the way he plays the game, but just the personality with him. So I hope that they can get that worked on in the off season. I don't know if it can get solved this year, but especially with like playing the puck and being able to secure the posts. He's had some trouble with that. Good luck, Islanders and Sabres. Oh, that's good. Who would have thought that was going to be a really important game at this point in the year? Reeves out there now. -10 in Chicago. I was surprised it wasn't colder, honestly. But I know what that feels like. Cortana, you're okay, you dork. Did I see that trees blow out? Yeah, I know about that. We had a bunch of trees that blew down where I live. I had to have a tree. I had to have like one of our freaking like giant pine trees removed. You know, where the circumference of those things is like 4 feet around. So, and they don't clean up. They just chop the tree down and that's it. So I'm literally out there right now in our front yard with a wheelbarrow, a hatchet, and an axe, chopping that tree up and salvaging the wood and taking the scraps and we're going to burn them. And that plume of smoke is going to hit the stratosphere. Tage isn't an offensive powerhouse. Yeah, not to mention the guy, for how big he is, he's very agile too. What's the most amount of snow we got there? Not that much altogether. Like for a season, a heavy year for us will be like 80 inches. But we've gotten like, I don't know, 140 before or something. I think my first winter here was pretty snowy. Toffoli almost put one in, by the way. But like this year, we've only gotten a total of maybe like, I don't know, 25 inches. It's been very paltry for us. It's so weird. It's like I'm 2 hours south of Canada. Granted, yeah, and I'm not like at sea level. I'm like 2,300 feet. But anyway, we'll get back to the action here. One day, yeah, we don't have big dumps in one day. Like the most you would see is usually only about, I don't know, maybe a foot overnight. It's not that heavy though. Matthew Schaefer is your favorite player. I can see why, man. Yeah, he's immensely gifted, and the confidence that he shows, I think, that's really fun when you see somebody who's that young and you know they have skills that they bring from previous leagues, but they actually play like that at the highest level. That is amazing when you have somebody who can do that at such a young age. Oh, Celebrini coming in for the hat trick. And he gets knocked off the puck there. Yeah, the 2.5 feet that you got like overnight. Oh my God. I remember because, not too long before then, I was living there and I was, following what was happening around the city there. And that's when you have people like having to dig out their cars, which is crazy. And you used to live in Orange County. Yeah. I don't know though. I like the snow. I like the cold. I like actually having to grunt and shovel your driveway and all that. Here's Macklin. He shoots. Immediately blocked by the defenseman though. Scott Morrow, former Hurricane. The RNA shoots and a save by Martin. Emil Heineman. Yeah. Now the question is, when are you going to add Cole Iserman to that group? A slight dusting in 2010. Yeah, the Central Valley. It's the elevation. If it was higher up, then yeah, you would probably see a lot more snow. All right, Sharks ice the puck here. Still 3-1. Sharks producing a couple of decent chances. Mountain towns get way more snow. I mean, even in Montana, though, what I'm hearing from people there is crazy. Because Montana, it's a huge state, obviously, but it can get just bone-chilling cold there. But they said that in Western Montana, there were some places that were in the 60s in December. Not too long ago, here was 55 or something, which is not unheard of, but pretty rare. But yeah, when Montana is, 30 degrees above average, that is very odd. Jimmy Meyer, what's going on? What's good? The Bruins as of late, I would start out with. I'm very surprised, but I'm glad that they're playing well under Marco Sturm, former San Jose Shark great. All right, Sharks have the second line out there right now. They've actually built some good momentum in this period so far, as we're about 6.5 minutes through it. North Florida is more likely to get snow. Yeah, I know, right? How about last year, Pensacola, right? It's covered in it. When I mentioned the diverse climates in Argentina, it's curious that it only snowed once in over 100 years in Buenos Aires. Wow. And you would think with a name like Buenos Aires, it would snow a lot more. Now Reeves, he's trying to clear for the Sharks here. Rangers doing a nice job punching back. All right, the fourth line out there for the Sharks. Can't quite get the puck deep enough. Sharks, by the way, are ahead in shots, but not by much. It's 25-24. Well, what happened to the Minnesota Wild? By the way, I mean, speaking of Minnesota and hockey, it was kind of odd seeing the attendance for the World Juniors being so low. I thought it would have been a lot higher, honestly. But then again, the U.S. didn't even get to the final or the semi or the third place game. The Wild were a middling team for years. Yeah. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. It's kind of like that, honestly. Like when you have to play Dallas in the first round, I can't exactly pick you to win, even though Dallas has definitely struggled recently. Then again, if I trust the Wild in that matchup, it's in goal. I trust them over the Dallas Stars. A shot. Oh, and Celebrini nearly with a hat trick. Macklin, so close to the Hattie. 12 minutes left in the period, by the way. Oh, yeah. Commercial break. All right, guys. Here, let's get back to our rankings. I know it's not the same, but here we go. I believe in Quinn Hughes. All right. All right, everybody. So we got the 2018 Stealth jersey, and here we have former Shark Tomas Hertl. All right, we got to do these quick, guys. So where should this grade? There is no waist stripe on this jersey. It is entirely black from the bottom of the triangle all the way down. You love the Habs and Bruins rivalry. Yeah, what would you say? Is that does it still feel like a rivalry though? Both teams are relevant though. I mean, it's not impossible for them to meet up in the playoffs. Okay, SBACSS. There is a decent amount. Fun must be always. He does have a 5-point game against the Sharks this year. Yeah, we're getting a lot of A tiers here. All right. I think that's an A when I look at things. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is probably not A tier. What about the 2021 Reverse Retro 1.0? There's still a little bit of that rivalry feel. Well, that's great. It is the oldest rivalry in the NHL, or it's the most kind of historic. All right, now we're talking, Lautaro. I like it. We got to mix it up here. A couple people I mean, Riley's just dropping the S's. See some C's and D's. All right, we're going to go D or we're going to go C? Too clunky for reverse retro. Never heard a jersey be referred to as clunky. Oh, come on. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I don't know. All right. I'll do a little readjustment here. There we go. All right. We got 4 more that we'll do on the next commercial break. Okay. I think it's an A. Habs Bruins is the biggest rivalry. There's not much of a design there. I think just like the striping could have been changed up, like the on the sleeves, obviously. I think the color scheme could have been just like flipped a little bit. It could have still been a gray jersey. Then again, I don't know if it would have been that great. I have it. It's not great. It's not hideous though, I don't think. All right. Well, there we go. The only time I think it's the only time the Sharks have ever worn a jersey that wasn't teal, white, or black. Go Red Wings. What's going on? Well, this time last week I was lamenting a defeat at the hands of Detroit. But hey, if we're going to lose to somebody, how about somebody who hasn't been to the playoffs since 2016? So I can get on board with that. And Patrick Kane's about to become the all-time leading scorer among American-born players. But is he the greatest American-born player of all time? I don't know if I don't know if I can quite say that, because there is one name that still, I think, even Mike Modano, there's an argument that Kane has had the better career. Chris Chelios is the guy that I think of, though. So, but you guys can let me know what you think. The natty hattie for Patty, yeah, or at least that's what I heard them say. Hooray, the eyes are playing finally works. Hey, I finally called it that the Red Wings would be in the playoffs. The one year I decided, I don't know if it was the only year I said they would make it. I think this was the first time I've said they would make the playoffs. But that was more like as a wild card. But hey, that works. By the way, the Sharks are on a power play again. I think it's their like 6th or 7th of the game. It was Gabe Perreault throwing a cheap elbow against Macklin. Wouldn't be the only time that Macklin's been targeted. To Foley, Wenberg shoots. Play goes on as it hits the backboards. Certainly the oldest one ever, but number one, I'm not sure. Chelios was 48 when he retired. Well, I didn't know if he was that old, but it wasn't far away, if that. Oh, man. Rangers standing up the Sharks at the blue line. They've got a 2-on-1 the other way. A shot, and Miller goes high over the net. Wenberg comes back the other way. Macklin at the top of the circle. Blocked and cleared. Mike Modano, your favorite past American hockey player. I think that would make sense. There's a statue of him outside your arena, right? Wait, Perreault played with Macklin, didn't he? Or was Will Smith the one who played with him? The BCBU thing, I don't have a good grasp of that. I think that was with Will Smith he played. All right. Orlov over to Regenda. Orlov, and he gets stripped. Laba couldn't quite spring himself on a breakaway, though. Our play about to expire. Here comes Eklund driving in. He comes in, cuts in, and can't quite get off a shot. Play goes on. And, the Rangers still have time. Just about 9 minutes left. Lots of wasted scoring opportunities. Yeah, it's not the sharpest game for San Jose. I mean, they're lucky they were able to pounce on the Rangers so early. I love the Russian 5. So you were around to watch that. I'm going to be talking, hopefully in an upcoming video, I'll talk about the best player from every team that never made the Hall of Fame. The Red Wings are an interesting one. It really kind of boils down to 2 names. But, of course, if Konstantinov didn't have the car wreck, he could have been the greatest Red Wing who never got into the Hall of Fame, or maybe he would have made the Hall of Fame. He was right there in that Norris Trophy conversation as Lidstrom's career was taking off. And that, to me, remains the greatest hockey documentary ever produced. That's such a goddamn good doc. I need to watch it again. Dwayne Wade's got a statue in Miami. That's cool. It's got to be it's got to be the worst one. Oh shoot, I don't know. I can't remember if I saw a picture of that. But when I was in high school, I played on our basketball team, and yeah, I rocked the D Wade shoes. I had some Converse ones. I saw, like I loved listening to punk music back then, and then I was like, you wear like Converse, and then it's like Dwayne, and I like sports, and like Dwayne Wade is starting to tear it up in the NBA, and he's got Converse shoes, and I'm like, oh dude, I'm rocking this guy's shoes for sure. Looks nothing like him. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like that, but yeah. The Sharks player who never made the Hall of Fame, Marlowe. Yeah. I mean, that's who I would pick. But if there's somebody who I think is going to make it in, but they just haven't had enough chances to get in, like Carey Price, for example, then I'll choose somebody else. So for the Sharks, some people out there believe Marlowe will get in. I'm not entirely sold on it, though. If he doesn't get in, it would be Nabokov. Nowitzki has a statue. Yeah, I actually saw him at a movie theater in Seattle many years ago. Strangely, it was like his second year in the NBA. Did I played basketball? No, I was a tiny school, tiny, graduating class of like 55 people. So I was a co-captain, shooting guard, winger. Yeah. I was too chicken to bring the ball up, but I was the best defender. So should Jeremy Roenick be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, I think that even though he never like won a major award, he was the driver for that team for a while. And when you look at his numbers, if you adjust them for the era he played in, it's pretty much there's a reason why it took so long for him to get in, but yeah, I think it's fair. How many people were in the school total? We actually had an 8th grade in our high school, but that was like 20 kids or something. So like overall class or school size was like 220 or something like that. Yeah, I went to a tiny little private school in California. Yeah, like it was a very different school. Yeah. So, but it was awesome because even though we weren't like good at sports, you could play sports if you wanted to. Oh God, Dad, the rebound! Oh, it went out. It didn't even get on goal. Come on, how did we not get that? Rangers are going to get another penalty though. We get another Sharks power play. But we're going to get a commercial break. So hold tight. We got Owie fan hanging out with us. I thought the sliding was continuing. They've been in slumps. Yeah. I mean, that's the team the Sharks played recently, and I was surprised that we came out the way that we did and held on to win in regulation. But yeah, the Caps, it's not going to be easy getting in this year. It's not quite the same as it was this past season, but good for you guys for, of course, bouncing back here. I made you do the Sharks jaws. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Does any other team actually celebrate a power play the way that the Sharks do? I don't think so. All right, we got 4 more jerseys, and then we got a Sharks power play. So everybody, rank these jerseys with me. So we just did the reverse retro 1.0. What about the current home jersey? Where should this one fit in? Not the whole uniform, just the jersey. I think it has to be said that the uniform altogether, it's going to turn a lot of people off, but just the jersey by itself. I think we need to make like an A and an A minus tier or something like that. I mean, honestly, I think it's a fine jersey, but I don't know if I would actually have it any higher than a B personally. But if you want to do A tier, I'm not gonna dispute that. I mean, just about everything is gonna end up in A tier. What about the current road jersey? All right, what about the current road? Yeah, the old roadies. Actually, this is Vincent Desharnais after he scored against that wasn't against the Panthers, was it? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's warm-ups. Also A, says Outlaw. Really? I'd be surprised, or I won't be surprised the Capitals don't make the playoffs. I mean, yeah, it's crazy because like they could miss, the Panthers could miss, the Maple Leafs could miss. This year it's unbelievable. We could see like 8 teams that didn't make the playoffs actually get in this year. Games back on. Not yet for me. I'm on kind of a slight delay. Very high A, B, A. Dang, I think all these are going to end up in A. It actually grades out just as well as the home jersey did. I'm going to move this guy over here. My gosh. B, these are fine. I mean, I don't want to say C tier, but they're not great. They're fine. I think they would look sharper if they changed up the rest of the kit though. Let's go to, what about the seals, the reverse retro 2.0? What about this guy? This is also a little polarizing. Jaws and Kyle would be devastated. Yeah, it would. You know, I know you, MJ. It would totally suck if they couldn't be streaming Panthers games for the playoffs. Because man, it's been incredibly successful for them, right? Yeah, you guys are. I see the difference of opinions here, and that's fine. S D D A C S. Not a fan of that. Yellow, yeah. Yellow on a Sharks jersey, huh? If the Panthers missed the playoffs, it would bring you joy. The night is always darkest before the dawn. All right. It is polarizing. I actually like this one just fine. I'll put this at the end of B. Nah. Just relative to everything else. And then let's wrap up with the most recent of the new designs, and that's the Califin. Califin. This guy right here. Look at Colin Graff. I love Colin Graff. Is this worse than the Golden Seals jersey? Oh, the 2.0? Well, the Sharks didn't wear the white skates, so they didn't honor it properly. I know we're talking about uniforms, but all right. Automatic S, A, S, 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 B, A. I won't accept anything else. It's right up here. It's right up here. This jersey's amazing. It's a masterpiece. All right. Well, anyway, I appreciate you having some fun with me on that. And does that probably need to rank in A as well with everything else? Probably right, but I got to have some fun. If I'm going to put anything in the S tier, it's going to be this one or the original teal. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. Thank you for doing that with me. All right, we're down to 4 minutes, everybody. Holy God, this period has whizzed by. And speaking of which, I haven't even taken a whiz this whole period. So I'm going to need to probably do that once this game ends. Not a fan of the Crown jersey. The current one? It's okay. It was kind of a safe play by the Kings. I just don't understand why they won't wear more purple for other teams and other streams. I think I have done that. Nice, good rhyme, by the way. We'll get a whistle here. They should do a purple jersey. Yeah, I mean, they should just have a purple jersey that they don't have to wear it every game. Like they can wear it as an alternate. That's fine. We're getting another commercial break apparently. I like the older Crown design, honestly. I just like the original Kings jersey, like the OG from 1967. It's very simple in how it's designed, but it's perfect. And what they did with Reverse Retro 1.0, I would make a little change, like moving the numbers up the jersey, and they did that with the current home and away, and it looks better. But other than that, that one's like pretty flawless too. But yeah, I mean, I know I have a little bias as a fan of a team that's not the Kings, but it's called the Kings, right? And they wear purple. Look at that. Purple's a great color. Or even just a little purple trim, right? Like back in the late 90s, they had those their away jersey because you used to wear dark jerseys for away games. And you had a primarily black jersey with purple and silver striping, and that looked fun. Should the Capitals do a reverse? Are you talking about the white Screaming Eagle? Like actually reissue that one? I'd like to see the Capitals wear the white Screaming Eagle. The black one that they wore for Reverse Retro 2.0, and then they wore it as an alternate. That one looked very sharp. The Wild Stadium. Yeah, Wild Stadium Series jersey is a little underrated. I actually like the Wild jersey with the script that said Minnesota on it. If they just did something about the shoulder yoke, like got rid of it, probably. That one, I would love to see that again. Oh, the Capitol building one. Okay. I wouldn't say no to that. I wouldn't say no. All right, the Rangers have an extra attacker out there right now, so the net is empty. And MJ dropping a 10, which I'll get to in a second here once we get a whistle. Which team will make a blockbuster trade? Well, it's hard when you have so few teams that are actually bottoming out. And these are like teams that were supposed to be in the playoff conversation. Like you got the Jets, right? And the Devils. It's not like those guys are going to be selling off a piece per se. At least I don't think. I haven't seen any rumors around that. But Artemi Panarin is certainly one of the big names that's being floated around here as we get closer to the trade deadline. And I thank you for the 10 spot. And I'll get Cortana a treat here on the whistle, okay? By the way, the Sharks are able to get a clear here, but Zibanejad is retreating. Nice pass up ice. He's got Trocheck. And teal jerseys surrounding the puck here. I like seeing that. The Sharks shovel it down toward the empty net. And it just goes a little bit wide. And good pressure applied there from Ostapchuk. If you want to hear booze, go to Europe. Oh, really? And a Delkovich glove save. And a 5 spot here from Tenchi. What's going on? All right, here. We'll give Cortana a couple treats. Here. Come here for a treat. Treats? Girl, treat. Come on, do you want a treat? Come here. Come here. I swear, She's outside my door right now. She's just looking at me. I'm like, treats. She's not coming over for treats. I think it's because she's had too many. No, she wants pets instead. She's like rolling over and says, Dad, pet me instead. Come on. Guys, thank you for the donations. Here, Cortana, come here, girl. There we go. All right. Here you go. Come here, sweetie. Come here. That one's from MJ. You don't want this? Okay, here you go. And then this one's from Eric. Good girl. Here, I have a couple extra ones. Good girl. Oh my goodness, she's a good girl. She knows what she wants. It's funny. It's not that often that she passes up a treat. All right, down to 1:35 here in regulation. Puck's at the blue line. Panarin. Down low. Good defense there from Ferraro. Good pressure. At the side of the net, Cooley couldn't quite get a stick on it. Worked over to the point. All right, Cortana. Look out, sweetie. Morrow into traffic. Loose puck. Still alive in the Sharks zone. And now Cooley. Nice hit there from Ferraro. So the Sharks defense might be a little tired out there. Now behind the net, Cooley. Great shift from Ferraro. I really like that. And bad pass there from somebody in white. And now moved ahead. Colin Graff's got the empty net. Not a good angle, though. He's got it behind the net. But he'll chew up some time. Morrow's able to bump him off the puck. 30 seconds remaining. The Sharks still lead by 2. Now Zibanejad fires it off to the slot. A shot that goes wide. Ends up to Gavrikov. To Panarin. And a nice save there by Nedeljkovic. Good box out from Orlov. Should the Caps make the alternate logo as the main logo? Like the Weagle? Yeah, I'd say that's a good logo. I think that the Screaming Eagle, it's cool to use that. The Weagle, I think, is better used for like multiple formats. I know it's like a marketing thing, but like the Weagle looks good on anything. The Screaming Eagle, not so much. It looks great on a hockey jersey. So keep it as an alternate, right? But the Weagle should be the main. That'd be sweet. Sharks are now in podium position in the Pacific. Technically, they would leapfrog the Ducks and the Kraken because they have more regulation, or they have more regulation and overtime wins than Anaheim. And I think they have like one more point than Seattle or something like that. So with this win, yeah, the Sharks will go back to third place technically, unless the Ducks win tonight if they're playing. And this one is in the books, everybody. The Sharks get the 2 points. A 3-1 victory over the Rangers. Nedeljkovic, an excellent game. Celebrini finally gets off of a 3-game pointless schneid. And San Jose gets back into a playoff spot. Yeah. I know some people have to go. I'll stick around for just a second here, but please do leave a thumbs up if you could. And don't forget, guys, it's about hockey. Go subscribe to Mason's channel. I appreciate him tuning in and being a fantastic first-time guest here on the channel. And hopefully we'll see him around very, very soon. Devils should be better than this. Happy we won against the Canucks. Yeah, that says it all right there. The Screaming Eagle on the red jersey. Oh, like the the one from a few years ago. That was sweet. I'm very fortunate to have one of those. But yeah, that's a final from the Shark Tank. It's really almost 10 o'clock at night. I have no idea why it feels like it's like 2 hours earlier. Third period. No, it's a final. Here we go. All right. Good stuff. Subscribe to Mason. Very fun. Hey, thanks, Tommy Boy. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. That's awesome. Cool. All right. So the Sharks able to kind of, I don't want to say weather the storm. It was kind of I don't want to say uneventful game, but it was 2-0. And you thought this was going to be a blowout. And the Rangers punched back. We got to give them some credit. But with that win, the Sharks will now move to 55 points on the season. And that means that they will be, at least for the time being, ahead of the Kraken, ahead of the Ducks, by regulation and overtime wins. So statistically, they have just a very slight advantage over those teams, and they're going to be going on the road for a few more. Ducks won 4-2 against the Kraken. Oh, just now? Yeah, I didn't even look at what was happening around the league. I usually do that when I'm streaming, but we had some entertainment here. So the Ducks are hot then. Is that 6 in a row? Yeah, you're right. That's 6 in a row for them. Holy crap. So basically, by doing this, that would mean the Sharks move into the second wild card. So the Ducks still remain in third place in the division, although they've played one more game than San Jose. Yeah, the Sharks stay alive in the playoff race. Lightning win, Sharks win. Great way to start the weekend. Seeing the Rangers lose in regulation always makes you happy. Hey, I mean, I was going to say that there are a few things that you can cling to for satisfaction, but then again, you guys are very much alive in the playoff chase right now. Penguins are in what? Penguins are second in their division. Holy shit. That's crazy. They've won their last 3 games. Pittsburgh's in second. God dang. But it feels good here in Sharks territory. Kings are, could they stay below the playoff line? It would be very surprising to see them there for the rest of the year because there's not that much that separates them from the other teams. They can get streaky. I don't know if they'll stay below the whole season, but I didn't predict them to go to the playoffs this year. Another $5 from MJ, just as I'm about to get up and use the restroom and sign off. Which decade of the NHL would I have loved to see in person? You would have said the 70s. The 70s would have been pretty fun because you had the crazy brawls. You had more teams coming into the NHL. You had Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito, Bobby Clark, Ken Dryden, Guy Lafleur. I think it's kind of hard to beat the 70s. I don't know too much about the original 6 era and before that, but just given that I'd say from like the mid 70s up until the mid 80s, if I had to pick one decade, I think that would have been pretty freaking fire. Or maybe, yeah, I'd stick with that as well. Good pick. Players didn't wear helmets. Yeah, that's right. Here, well, I think it's fair to say Cortana's probably going to, well, I got lots of treats for her, but I'll have to put these away because she wasn't even that enthusiastic to get up and get them last time. If you don't mind me letting Cortana sit this last one out. Could the Predators make the playoffs? It's getting a little bit more tricky because there are teams that are catching fire, but they got to do something at the deadline, I think, to get in. Go Canes tomorrow against the Senators. Yeah, let's get a bounce back, Canes. I know that they're not guaranteed to win the division, but it looks kind of like they've been in first place the whole time. So, but you need to, of course, be able to bury some of the chances and not get goalied, right? The Canes can only run out of so many excuses of we got goalied, right? So good luck to them tomorrow. 80s Gretzky and Lemieux, or honestly 2020s. Yeah, really, this has been a really good era. Yeah, this decade, I would agree. The sport's never been more exciting. Of course, not as many fights, but just the way they play the game with as much speed as they have, how much of a focus there is on transition. And then in the playoffs, you get more of that like old school, grind it out kind of style of play. I think that you get kind of the best of both worlds in the regular season and the playoffs in this decade. Moving Hamilton, moving to trade for Dougie Hamilton, or am I just not reading that correctly? Riley's got the 90s. 90s, you had both. You had high-flying offenses early on, and then you had lockdown defense. You had the neutral zone trap. You had the rivalry between the Red Wings and Avalanche at the end of the decade. Forsberg, Lindros, some amazing talents that came after Gretzky and Lemieux. NHL still has the fights. I mean, not a whole lot, but it's enjoyable when it happens, right? Thank goodness they still cut those. Pacific is weird. Vegas leads in points and points percentage by a country mile at this point. Edmonton leads in regulation wins. And the Ducks and Sharks are first and second in total wins. That's true. Yeah, I think the Knights are the only team with like a. I think the Oilers too have a positive record in regulation alone. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna peace out for now. Thanks for joining me, and we'll do another one of these soon enough. I'm not entirely sure. Work's been pretty busy the last couple weeks, but keep an eye out for announcements. I know it's kind of hard to see those, but announcements. Discord is always a good place to know what's happening next. You can always join our Discord by going to the stream description or check one of my videos. There's always a link in the description there. And again, thanks to Mason from It's About Hockey. Thank you guys for all your super chats. And thank you, Macklin Celebrini, for being born the year you were born so that we had a chance to draft you overall, first overall. All right, guys. Deuces, I'm out. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And we'll be back for another one soon enough.